April Fools. My mic was muted, but welcome to Mariners baseball. We've got Seattle Mariners versus Detroit Tigers. Your mic is extremely loud, Ian. Should fix that. But anyways, how are you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
All right. So we've got Casey Mize, can't even say his name. First overall pick in the 2018 draft. He is going to be the starting pitcher. And we've got Logan Gilbert, our very own. He is going to be the starter for the Mariners. And yesterday's game was an absolute disaster. It was so bad that Emerson Hancock got sent down to AAA. Yeah, pretty bad.
He did.
But hopefully Mariners can recover this time, put themselves back on 500 before they have to go up against Tariq Skubal tomorrow. So this is why that it's going to be a very critical game to win. They absolutely must win this game or they will put themselves into a huge hole going up against Tariq Skubal and going up against San Francisco. So, Ian, any keys to the game that we've got today for the Mariners?
Limit damage in the first inning.
Yeah, we got to make sure the Mariners are not allowing such early runs because they were basically playing catch up throughout the entire game. Like they kind of almost made a comeback, but it was like a lot of too little too late, especially when Cal Raleigh hit that home run. The game was unfortunately, I mean, I didn't think it was 100% over when Cal Raleigh hit the home run, but then Randy Arozarena ridiculously struck out with a 3-0 count on him. So there could have been something going, but it did not happen. Because he struck out, we had Kevin Kirby defending the heck out of him yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest keys to the game today are going to be limit the thing, jump on the ball early, and get to the pitcher early and get him out of the game so that we don't have to play a bullpen game because they're exhausted after yesterday.
Yeah, especially Carlos Vargas because I don't think he's going to be pitching today, but he did pitch at least decent for the Mariners, but maybe we could see him as a long reliever in the future. I don't know, but today, don't expect him to pitch. And Colin Snyder's probably not going to pitch. Taylor Saucedo, as much as he's not that useful, he's still probably not going to pitch. So you're going to be left with, I think Bizardo already pitched yesterday, so you're pretty much left down to like Munoz and Spire and Gregory Santos, but that's really about it. So their bullpen is extremely thin for today.
Yeah. I mean, those are going to be the biggest keys to today, and hopefully they stay with it and don't fall off the horse again.
Yeah, and let's look at the starting lineups for each team. We got McKinstry, Green, Torkelson, Carpenter, Keith, Margot, Sweeney, Rogers, and Kreidler. As we got the Mariners up on the mound. Third base will be Miles Mastrobuoni. He will be making his first start for the Mariners. He is a starting third baseman, batting eighth, which the Mariners lineup might as well say it. Victor Robles, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena, Luke Raley, Rowdy Tellez, Ryan Bliss, Miles Mastrobuoni, and J.P. Crawford. That's really...
Yeah, I mean, you heard about Jorge Polanco, right?
Oh... Do tell.
Oh, he's on paternity leave for his wife.
Congratulations, Jorge Polanco, for going to have a son or daughter. We should probably know what it is by now.
I didn't hear if it was a boy or girl, but I heard he was going to be out today.
Well, you can't blame him for it because family first. So good for him that he is, or at least trying to somewhat fight the birth rate problems that this country has, including the rest of the world, unless you're in North Korea, which they have a high birth rate. Now, here's the first pitch, and that is a swing and a miss, strike one, and that first pitch was brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek, you know the drill. Rooftop Sports, promo code for $20 off. As Zach McKinstry is up to the plate, batting .231 this season, and now we've got the pitch, and now here is a line drive, and that's going to be easily caught by Julio Rodriguez. And now we've got one down. Julio Rodriguez, who hit the triple and a single yesterday. He almost had a bad game, but he made a very unusual hit and also made a nice single. Now we got Green. I think it's Riley Green up on the plate today. Following will be Torkelson after that. Good defensive player in Torkelson. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be just missing for a ball. 96-mile-an-hour fastball by Logan Gilbert. Riley Green this season, 211 with 1 home run and 1 RBI.
Yeah, Riley Green's having a pretty good season since yesterday. Well, yesterday helped him. He started off pretty slow, but yesterday really helped him out.
To be fair, I mean, the Tigers played the Dodgers. Like, I think if anyone went 0-3 against the Dodgers to start, I don't think it's even a fair assessment to say, oh, the season's over. Unless you're the Mariners. Then you can say it. 2-0. And that's a swing and a miss. I mean, if the Mariners went 0-3 against Dodgers, would you have hit the panic button? You would have. We would hit a panic button on 0-1.
Yeah.
As we are looking at 2-1 count for Green, and now the pitch. And that is a foul ball. We're looking at 2-2 for Riley Green, batting 211. Logan Gilbert going to be on pitch number 7. And now here is the pitch. And that is low for a ball. 3-2 on Riley Green. 3-2. Pitch number 8 happening. And now here is the full count 3-2. And there is a liner, and that is going to get fair ball going into the corner, almost to the corner. And that's going to be an easy double for Riley Green. And still would have liked to see some hustle out of Victor Robles. He was just casually jogging that. And now we got a runner in scoring position. And now you got Spencer Torkelson up to the plate.
Yeah, he jumped all over that pitch.
He really did. I really should have put money on the Tigers today. I could have, and I should have. I chickened out because of Logan Gilbert. But now, based on this, I'm like, maybe should have put at least $1 in it.
Yeah.
And now we got next hitter, Spencer Torkelson, and now the pitch. And that is a strike to Spencer Torkelson. He's batting .429. It's off to a good start. As we're looking at the 0-1.
That's a pretty solid batting average for the early going.
It pretty much is. As we're looking at 0-1. And now the pitch. And that is a foul ball. Got strike 2 on Spencer. Has a home run this season and 1 RBI. He is their first baseman. Was known to catch the game winner against the Astros in game 1 of the division series, or it was a wild card series, and that's going to be low for a ball. AJ Hinch, the former manager of the Astros, now manager of the Tigers. If only the Mariners hired him, maybe they'd be a bit better. Instead, we got the nostalgic Dan Wilson, as we're looking at 1-2, and now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to be 1 out. And we've got 2 outs. Sorry, 2 outs. A good strikeout by Logan Gilbert. I think that was a splitter. Yep, that was a splitter right there. That was nasty.
This is a miles better start than the last one we just saw yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, Hancock was so bad, he got called down. Do you think Scott Service would have done the same thing, or do you think he would have kept him? And now we got a line drive, and that's going to get right through for a base hit. And scoring the run is Riley Green. The throw to the plate. Terrible throw by Victor Robles. And now we got the Tigers on the board on a RBI single by the Tigers, or more like a double. I mean, I did not like that throw by Victor Robles. I can tell you that. And now we can all say this could be a long game. I know it's 1-0, but the way it happened, it makes our confidence is already shaken, and Ryan Bliss could not get to it.
I hate to be that guy. Bliss should have got that, but Robles, I'm starting to wonder about is right field defensively. Because, I mean, he's made 2 throws in the past 2 days that have been awful. Like, nowhere near the plate.
It was a terrible throw. And now the pitch. And that is up high for a ball. That's Colt Keith up to the plate. He's 2 for 13 this season. And now the pitch. And that is inside for a ball. He mostly pitches a slider, a 4-seam fastball, a splitter, and a curveball. He's got really good stuff. That's why he was an all-star last season, the 2-0. And that is a strike. Looking at the 2-1 count for Logan Gilbert. As we're looking at 2-1. And now the pitch. And he misses it for a ball somehow. And that's going to be ball 3, 3-1. Three and one for Keith Gilbert. Or no, for Keith, not Keith Gilbert. Logan Gilbert's the pitcher. And the pitch. And now here's a line drive, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. That's probably going to score another run. It will. And the throw to the plate, a terrible throw by Randy Arozarena. And that easily gets him a double. And now it's 2-0 Tigers. I am just embarrassed to see what's going on. That was just a hanging like slide or splitter, or that was like a hanging curveball. Randy Arozarena was trying to get the guy out at home. It was just a horrible throw. As we're looking at 2-0 Tigers already. And now we got next up to the plate. It's going to be Margot. Or Margot. And the pitch. No pitch. And now the pitch. And that's up high for a ball. 1-0.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we're not going to have another repeat of yesterday.
Yeah, let's hope not. We can't afford it. And now the 1-0. And that is a strike. Gary Carpenter is the one that continues to torture the Mariners. I mean, it's the Tigers. The Tigers have always given the Mariners problems. As we're looking at 2-0. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. Got 2 outs and 2 strikes. Got to get out of this inning quickly so the Mariners can have an opportunity to respond, at least when they're down just 2-0, because 2-0 sounds a lot better than 6-0. And now the 1-2 pitch.
True.
And that is a foul ball. Or set. Nope, that's foul ball. Still at strike 2. And Ian, your mic sounds a lot better. I can't even hear background noises anymore.
After the first inning, I'm going to be gone for about an inning and a half. I'm going to fix my mic issue.
That's fair. 1-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's going to retire the side. But unfortunately, the Tigers get 2 runs on that, especially by terrible throws by Victor Robles and Randy Arozarena, and also a fielding job that Ryan Bliss should have been able to handle. So we're going to go to commercial break because I need one already, because based on this game has been going on so far. Let's get to an ad. We just got an order. While he makes that pizza, What's up, baseball fans and pizza lovers? In celebration of the start of the baseball season, we've got a home run of a deal for you. We're offering 50% off all menu items on Mondays and Tuesdays and 25% off bowling. Don't strike out on this amazing deal. Check out our menu in the description of this video and start ordering now. Delivery is also welcome. This offer goes through April. Yep, 50% off on all menu items, still valid today. It will not be valid by tomorrow because it's Wednesday. And also 25% off of bowling. And by next week, if I do a live game, which I will, I intend to show you how bowling is like too. Wow, cheesy bites of pizza. Ugh, Pizza Hut. No one out pizzas the Hut, they say. And we are back from the break.
Hopefully the Mariners can do some offensive stuff here.
They're going to really have to.
Yeah, if they don't jump on it.
And Eugenio Suarez just had a go-ahead grand slam against the Yankees. And now here's the pitch to Robles. And that is a strike. It's just insane idea that the Mariners gave away Eugenio Suarez for a part-time bullpen pitcher and a failed catcher. And now here's a line drive, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. And Victor Robles gets on base with a single, so he gets something started. And now it's up to Julio Rodriguez to continue it. It was a nice hit, beautiful hit. And now we've got Julio Rodriguez, who was 2 for 5 yesterday. And here's the pitch. And that hit him. That got him, no doubt about it. And just go to first base. I hope he's okay, but if he is okay, Julio, just take it. I mean, that's the only effective way the Mariners can really get on at this point is just get hit by pitches. That did hit him in the hand. That's not good. That is not good though. Oh, yeah, that's not good. That really hurt. Let's just hope that he's okay.
Hopefully, because we don't really have much of an outfield left to choose from.
Well, he's still hitting though. I guess they called it a foul ball. I would have just take one for the team. The pitch and a swing and a miss, strike 2. He's batting .235, 1 home run and 3 RBIs. As we're calling for time is Julio Rodriguez. As Ian's going to take care of his microphone problem, so it will be up to me to cover this game. As we're looking at 0-2 for Julio Rodriguez. And now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A horrible swing by Julio. That was way outside the strike zone. And how did he not pay attention to that? And now we got 1 out. And now we've got 1 out so far. And now up to the plate, it's going to be Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. And the throw to first. Not in time is Victor Robles. Not in time to get him out. And the pitch to Cal Raleigh. And that is low for a ball. Good eye by Cal Raleigh. Julio would have definitely swung at that one. Now we're looking at 1-0 for Cal Raleigh. Now the pitch. Up high for a ball, 2-0. Looking at 2-0. And now the pitch. Up, and that is up high for 3-0 count on Cal Raleigh. At this point, go for the red light, even though he's probably going to pitch a strike because 4-pitch walks are probably not as common, as we're looking at 3-0. And now the pitch. And that is a ball 4. Doesn't matter because it's ball 4. Take your base. Got 2 on with 1 out. Now we got Randy Arozarena up to the plate, batting 188 with 2 home runs and 2 RBIs. The pitch, and that is right in there for a strike. How do you not swing at that? Randy Arozarena hit the home run yesterday. He was 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, unfortunately, though. And the pitch, and that is a foul ball. That looked like that was his pitch. He was really going for it. And now already an 0-2 count on Randy Arozarena. As we're looking at 0-2, and now the pitch. Low for a ball, ball 1. 1-2 the count. Now we're looking at 1-2. And now the pitch. And that is popped up and fouled. Could be, nope, not fieldable at all. That almost could have been a towering home run, too. Still recovering from my fever, cold. As now we're looking at 1-2 on Randy Arozarena. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball, probably a double play ball. Throw to second. No, he can't throw to second. And he barely gets Randy Arozarena out. And that is going to be 2 outs. But you now got runners in scoring position on second and third. And you got to score. If you don't score, you're going to break the confidence of the Mariners. Let's get some freaking runs in, shall we? I don't care how early it is. Just by a foot. Of course they've struggled. And now we got Luke Raley up to the plate with 2 outs. And now the pitch. And that is up high for a ball. On deck is going to be Rowdy Tellez and Ryan Bliss. So you would assume if Rowdy Tellez and Ryan Bliss are batting in this inning, that means the Mariners may have scored a run or two. Batting 250 with 1 home run. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that is strike 1. That was a 95 up on the high. Right up the chest. Got 9 people in. Would like to see engagement and people talking. And also donations. Goal is 50. And the pitch. Up high for a ball. That's going to be a 2-1 count. Now he's ahead of the count. And that's now 2-1. And now we're looking at 2-1, yes, and the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. Y'all signed Big Rowdy? Yes, we did, Christian. We absolutely did. Julio's mediocre at best. Let me say this. He is the best baseball player when he wants to be. As we're looking at 2-2. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Are you freaking kidding me? Got 2 men on. It was 1 out, and you still can't get a freaking run in? And now we're going into commercial break. Give me a moment to breathe again. Mariners just won't even let me relax.
SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you.
This is just absolutely pathetic. Yeah, we know he's better than mediocre, but he should be better. He should be doing exactly what Bobby Witt Jr. is doing. Shout out to Nightbot trying to get you guys to use my SeatGeek promo code, Rooftop Sports, for your $20 off.
Inspire, mentor, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique.
Just cannot believe what just happened. Luke Raley strikes out with 2 men on. Honestly, I think just following this Mariners game just makes me sick. I think that's why I still haven't felt better, because they suck. Cal Raleigh bobblehead. I won't be there. When the MLB fixed their blackouts, the answer is never. Now here is the pitch. Up high for a ball. And the 1-0 pitch. And that is a strike. As we're still looking at 1-1. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Luke Raley. Toss over the first and in time. And that's going to be 1 out. Next inning, you're going to have Rowdy Tellez, Ryan Bliss, and Miles Mastroboni, which none of them are going to amount to anything. Mariners are now 3 of 30 in runners in scoring position to begin the season. Can't wait to be told that we're not giving the offense enough credit and we're getting traffic, but just can't get the big hit, which they can't do. And now we're looking at the pitch, and that is right in there for a strike. I mean, about Emerson Hancock, I just never had an impression of him of being a Major League Baseball player caliber. Maybe bullpen at best. His pitches are just too predictable. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did go, and that's going to be strike 2. Well, as of now, even if the Mariners had the torpedo bats, it wouldn't have mattered. The 0-2. Now here's a ground ball comebacker right to Logan Gilbert. Tossed over the first, and that is in time, and that's going to be 2 outs for the Tigers already. Much more efficient inning so far for Logan Gilbert, just as long as he can finish it. If you care about the NBA, Stephen Curry scored 45 points on 11 of 15 from deep in the fourth quarters as he approaches NBA record for most threes in the game, 14. So he's still trying to score. The game's still going on in Golden State, or for the Golden State Warriors. Now the pitch, and that is going to be swing and a miss, and that's strike 1 for Kreidler. I almost said Chrysler. Speak of Chrysler, has anyone ridden in the Chrysler before? I've only ridden in like a Town and Country and a PT Cruiser. And the 01, if anyone remembers the Town and Country, it was basically the Dodge Caravan, because Dodge and Chrysler were under the same company. As we're looking at 0-1 so far for Kreidler. And now the pitch. And that is missing it for a ball. Cal Raleigh really tried to frame it. And now, yeah, that should have been a strike too. As now we're looking at 2-1 the count. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. It could have been strike 3, but umpire said otherwise. Now we're looking at 2-2 and the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to JP. Throw to first in time, and that was an easy 1-2-3 inning for the Seattle Mariners. And now we're going to go up with Rowdy Tellez, Ryan Bliss, and Miles Mastroboni.
SoFi is an online bank and a personal financing company offering financial diverse products. They hold the naming rights to the home of the Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers, named SoFi Stadium. They offer amazing checking and savings accounts where you can get up to 4.6% on savings accounts. There are no monthly fees to maintain the accounts, and they have over 55,000 no-fee ATMs around the United States. You even have access to a budgeting program, stock trading, and insurance programs. Join SoFi and get $25 for joining and or $25 for opening a stock trading account. Links are available in the description. And thank you. And lastly, I am not a financial advisor, so either find a professional financial advisor or go with your own gut.
Still commercial break going on.
Delicious entrees and 5 tasty sides with a drink. Oh, and nobody else includes breakfast items all day. Just this guy.
I feel like Jack in the Box just has better selections than McDonald's. Like when you see Jack in the Box and Burger King, you don't want to go to McDonald's. McDonald's is not even that good. They don't even have good menus anymore. Their food is not good. Their burgers are just, ugh. They're just not good. He's not even a quad A play. They should have just gone from Diaz from the start. Yeah, possibly. But Diaz didn't even look that good either. And now we got Rowdy Tellez up to the plate, and now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. I think Rowdy Tellez is not going to be on this team much longer, especially when you're batting just 125 and 8 at-bats. You got to get him out of there. Maybe just call up Ty Locklear. As we're looking at 0-1. And now the pitch. And that is going to be check swing. Did he go? He did not. And that's going to be a 1-1. Tellez working on a 1-1 count so far. And now the pitch. And that is in there for a strike. And that's going to be a 1-2. And now the pitch again. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and down he goes. And now that is 1 out. And now next we got Ryan Bliss up to the plate. He's batting 083, 1 for 12. He has been absolutely atrocious at the start of this season. The pitch. Inside for a ball, and that's going to be a 1-0. You would think if Ryan Bliss and Rowdy Tellez don't work out, you would think that Ty Locklear and Cole Young are going to get their opportunities real soon. The pitch. That is in there for a strike because I don't think Ryan Bliss, as of now, is any sustainable at all. As we're looking at 1-1 for Ryan Bliss. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I think that if Mariners don't make the playoffs this season, they got to get rid of Jerry Dipoto. As we are looking at 1-2. And now the pitch. Low for a ball, and that is 2-2. Two and two for Bliss. And now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to right field. Will be caught. Ben Williamson. Dunn. Remind me about Dunn. Dunn Mariners. It's not Justin Dunn, I can tell you that. Remind me which Dunn it is. And they got Miles Mastroboni, who had one hit. The pitch. He was a former Cub, and that is up high for a ball. Miles Mastroboni hasn't really... Last season only batted 194. Great. We got someone like that. The pitch. Inside for a ball. Miles Mastroboni is almost 30 years old as we're looking at 2-0. Now the pitch, and that is popped up, and that's not going to go anywhere. And he makes the catch, and that is going to be 2-3. That is 3 outs. That was a 1-2-3 inning. It's almost like you blinked an eye, and nothing happens. We go to next commercial break. We got an order for a Hawaiian pizza. While he makes that pizza, what's up, baseball fans and pizza lovers? In celebration of the start of the baseball season, we've got a home run of a deal for you. We're offering 50% off all menu items on Mondays and Tuesdays and 25% off bowling. Don't strike out on this amazing deal. Check out our menu in the description of this video. And start ordering now. Delivery is also welcome. This offer goes through April. Yep, take advantage of it. 50% off the menu item. And the menu is available in the description. If you live near Snoqualmie, use the rooftop. Just say rooftop to the pizza guy that you'll be making that phone call. Weird commercial.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Now we are back from the break. Gary Payton was throwing the ceremonial first pitch today. Gary Payton's actually now on the microphone now. And that is popped up. Gary Payton, Sonics guard from 1990 to 2003. It's like Gary Payton, all he's trying to see if he has anything about the Sonics, but all he's going to say is, oh, I'm sure we'll get a team back real soon. Been saying that since 2011. We're looking at 0-2. Now we got a ground ball foul. And the 0-2. Now here's a line drive, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Now you got a man on first base. There's like no answers about. I'm trying to just see if Gary Payton has anything about the Sonics coming back. He doesn't know anything. I know. Freeze. Rowdy Tellez starting again. We're in trouble. The pitch. Up high for a ball. A question I would ask to Gary Payton is what your thoughts on Adam Silver's comments were. Looking at 1-0 by Logan Gilbert. It's getting pitched to 40, the pitch. And that is a strike. 1-1. And the pitch. And now here's a throw to second, swing and a miss, and a bad throw by Cal Raleigh. And now we got a stolen base at second base. A man in scoring position at second base.
So your involvement in the motion picture, obviously you have intimate feelings for this.
We're looking at 1-2 in the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Looks like he did go, and that's going to be strike 3. Now we got 1 out. And next up to the plate is going to be Riley Green. I wonder if you would just take the bat away from him since he already gotten a hit. It's actually Spencer Torkelson that's up. And now the pitch. Now here's a flying drive, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. And now you're going to get 3-0 out of the Tigers. And the Tigers are now taking a 3-0 lead on a double by Spencer Torkelson. And now the Tigers are firing our own cylinders again. It's like as if it just can't stop. Like, this is like, now that the offense has problems, now the starting pitching has problems too. And now the pitch. That's going to be a foul ball.
How do you balance being a dad? You're obviously a very unique dad when it comes to having a kid in the NBA. How do you balance trying to let him do his thing?
As we're looking at 0-1. And now the throw to second, not in time. This game is just really frustrating already. Mariners have been playing absolutely atrocious. And now the pitch. And did he go? He did not. As we're looking at 1-1. And now the pitch. Misses it. And that's going to be ball 2, 2-1. At this point, I would just walk the guy. I mean, it's Kerry Carpenter. He already got the hit, so I don't understand why you're not intentionally walking him at this point. In the pitch. And now the 2-2. And that's going to be a ground ball foul. As we're looking at 2-2. And now the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. So I'm listening to Gary Payton, and all he has said was, oh, yeah, it's coming. It's coming soon. You've been saying that since 2023. You said that in like 2016 or 17. You said that in 2011. How much longer are you going to say it without any kind of evidence that they are actually coming back? Adam Silver just said it's not happening right now, or maybe not happening at all. It's just, Gary Payton's just so... He's just so blinded about what's going on. He has no idea what's going on. Another 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And now that's going to be 2 outs. He can't just will it into existence, but I just don't like what Gary Payton says. He's been saying that there's going to be a team. He's been saying it since 2008. It was supposed to happen in 2011. Then it was supposed to happen in 2013. And then he said, like, oh, yeah, we need a team in 2016. A week after the arena got shot down. And now he's saying 2023. Oh, yeah, team's coming soon. 2025 or 2024. He said it again. And now he keeps saying it over and over again. Gary Payton hasn't really done anything to bring a team back. That's the problem I have with him.
It was just great just being that defensive player and making the team. And what do you mean? You drew inspiration from him and playing basketball?
As we're looking at top third, and we're still looking at 0-1-0-0. And I got another donation by Pizza Boy. It was $1. Thank you very much. And now the 1-0. And that is going to be a strike, and that is a 1-1 count. And now the pitch. And that is a strike, and that's going to be a 1-2. I just don't like the conversations that are always... Now the 1-2. Now it's a ground ball foul. Yeah, Tariq Skuball's pitching. Like, Mariners absolutely have to win. Like, if they don't win, I'm almost convinced that the Mariners should just forfeit against Tariq Skubal. Like, why even waste time? Don't even show up. Just worry about San Francisco at that point. And here's Colt Keith. And now the pitch. And that is just missing it for a strike. Logan Gilbert's at 55 pitches. Yeah, thanks, Ian. I know. No one likes my takes on the Sonics. I just don't like that Gary Payton's always saying we're going to get a team back. And what does he do about it? What about happened to actions speak louder than words? As Logan Gilbert misses it again. That's going to be 3-2 on Colt Keith. 56 pitches. Been a long inning.
Gary Payton up there the last couple of hitters. Trying to end it right here.
As we're looking at 3-2, and now the pitch. And that is low for ball 4, and Logan Gilbert looking visibly frustrated. And now we've got runners on first and second with 2 outs, but Logan Gilbert is not looking good. Supersonics will have a likely chance of winning a championship than the Mariners having make the playoffs. Yeah, pretty much. I'm most likely going to make a YouTube short on what Gary Payton said about saying how many times the team's going to come back. As we are looking at the next pitch. And now here it is. And that is a strike. Yeah. No one wants to hear the non-optimistic take. I agree, though. I hate to say it. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, where was Gary Payton when Chris Hansen had his whole stadium situation going, as we got a swing and a miss by Manuel Margot, and now we've got 0-2. Like, I'm serious. Did you ever see Gary Payton get involved in any stadium situation? Did he try to save the Sonics? Did he try to keep them from leaving? Did he put together an ownership group to buy this team away from Clay Bennett or Howard Schultz? Did he do any of that? Did he help with the stadium situation? Did he help Chris Hansen? Does he even know who Chris Hansen even is? He doesn't. I know the conversation between Gary Payton and Aaron Goldsmith's over, but it's very concerning when, and let me just, I'll wait till commercial break to say it out. And now here's the 0-2. Oh, he misses it, and that's going to be a 1-2 count. And Pizza Boy is donating again. Why are you doing this to yourself? But I'll take it. That's the second day in a row I've made at least $5. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's going to retire the side. But yeah, let me go into this whole Gary Payton thing. Like, I have questions on Gary Payton. Like, was he there for the whole Soto Arena thing from 2012 to around 2017? He wasn't there. Was he there when he was retired? Like, did he try to help put it together an ownership group? Did he try to help market the whole situation with Steve Ballmer? Did he try to help with that? Where was he when not only when we were fighting for the Soto Arena, where was he when he was trying to help, when he should have tried to help Chris Hansen get the Sacramento Kings to Seattle? Where was Gary Payton when the street vacation failed on the Soto Arena? Where was he on that? And where was Gary Payton when we finally got a stadium? Like, is he putting together an ownership group? Is he putting anything into minority ownership group? Is he doing any of that? He hasn't done anything. The only thing he has done since the Sonics have left Seattle, all he has done is just say, we're getting a team back real soon. 2008, he said, we'll get a team back by 2011. 2011 on the Jim Rome show, Seattle, we're getting a team back real soon. 2013, he said something like, we're going to get a team back real soon. What about 2016? Oh, yeah, we need a team back. What about 2016? Yeah, NBA wants to be back in Seattle. What about 2023? We're getting a team back real soon. 2024. The ETA's 2025 or 26, 27. Has that happened? Is there any announcement? Is he talking to Adam Silver? Is he doing any of that? He's not doing any of that. All he is just words. Because here's the thing. Actions speak louder than words. That's all I got to say. I know I've said too much, but I'm going, now that JP Crawford's batting, I got to refocus on the game. Put in the comments on how you feel about the whole Gary Payton, just repeated rhetoric of like saying, like, ugh. Next inning after this, I'm going to just go off on a limb on Twitter X. But the thing is, Gary Payton, actions speak louder than words. I think that just made me more sick. And I'm supposed to be on recovery as we're looking at 1-1 on JP Crawford. And now the pitch. And that is low for a ball. That is 1-1. And the 2-1. And that is a strike. 2-2. And now we're looking at 2-2. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. This is pathetic. So I'm going to put it on Twitter X. Gary Payton was in the Mariners booth saying Sonics are coming back soon. Okay. Where does he have proof? Has he been talking to Adam Silver? Does he know what's going on with expansion? I'll wait. And now the pitch. And that is a swing and a miss. And that's going to be low for a ball. So here's my Twitter, and I actually tagged Gary Payton. Maybe he'll probably block me. Gary Payton was in the Mariners booth saying Sonics are coming back soon. Okay, does he have proof? Has he been talking to Adam Silver? Does he know what's going on with expansion? I'm curious. What do you got? And now the 2-2 pitch, and that is low for a ball. That's going to be 3-2 for Victor Robles. Sorry if I scared you guys away with my Sonics takes. It's just I'm a passionate Sonics fan. I want them back. And now we got a pop up to right field, and that's going to be easily caught. And I don't know. Mariners can continue to show their inability to hit at home, but I'm not using T-Mobile Park as an excuse. They're just really bad players. And now the pitch to Julio. Now here's a ground ball right to the shortstop. And he gets him out. And that is going to be an easy 1-2-3 inning for the Seattle Mariners. I mean, for the Detroit Tigers. And now it's still 3-0 going into the bottom of the top of the fourth inning. That is very true, Reese Beast. Yeah, Julio just isn't really running with any kind of heart at all. I mean, how can you even change the culture of this team at this point? Speak of, I got to play a commercial.
Modern Exterior Solutions is a fully licensed and insured full-service exterior renovations company serving Seattle and East Side communities. We know that a home is one of your most important possessions. That's why we're committed to providing high-quality, affordable home renovations for each customer's individual budget. We're diverse enough to meet the challenges of any project you put in front of us. Our workmanship minimizes the use of third-party services, and our team works together to meet all your deadlines. Anytime there's a challenge, we work with you to find a solution. We are proud to work with distributors of quality brand products with durable, ample protection from the elements for a variety of applications, including James Hardie siding and trim. Talk with us today about your project's needs, and we can help you solve all the challenges along the way.
And there it is. Donate to support my channel. Or, I'm sorry, this one. Sahara Pizza. No. Modern Exterior Solutions. What am I doing? Like, I'm just off today. Doesn't help when the Mariners suck. But getting close to, so now the magic number at $5. We've got swing and a miss, $6 so far. Magic number is $44 to get to 50. And now we are looking at 0-1. And now the pitch. That is a swing and a miss, strike 2. Oh and 2. We're in the top of the 4th inning. This game's kind of been going slow along, I guess. Jay Trident podcast will most likely be on at around 8:45 to 9 o'clock. And now the 0-2. And that is going to be low for a ball. Mariners don't live up to their best every game. They never do. And now the 1-2. Low for a ball. That is going to be 2-2. Logan Gilbert already approaching 70 pitches. I don't think he'll even get past the 6th inning. He'll be lucky to get past even the 5th inning at this point. And now the 2-2. And that is strike 3 called.
Is getting his first start of the season at third base. He told Brad, Angie, and I earlier of this homestand that he is committed to being himself, particularly at the plate, because he has spent far too much time trying to chase power, velo, hits. He's just going to do it his way. He is fired up to get the start, and Aaron, he does have a baseball regret. He grew up in Santa Ramon, which is about 26 miles away from Oakland. It was always his dream to get to play in the Coliseum, and he knows that will never happen.
Yeah, that is a bummer. You know, Nico Horner is an Oakland guy. It got Sacramento, and he was. The Cubs are now playing Sacramento against the A's. They started the series last night. A's opened up the Sacramento era at their new home ballpark for the next 3 years. And Horner was talking about how.
As we're looking at Jake Rogers.
Yeah, that is disappointing for a guy like Miles.
And now the pitch. That is up high for a ball. 1-2.
You know, like we talk about reference the Coliseum, and we talked a little bit about last couple of months, but run down, you know, just let the place go, and you know, where's ball.
Miles Mastroboni at third base. The pitch. And that's going to be 2-2.
Baseball, that Coliseum, before they used to top off those upper decks. You see pictures of that place, man.
And now the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called, and now we've got 2 outs. So Logan Gilbert looking a little bit better this inning, but Mariners are still down 3-0.
I said this at the end of last year with Logan Gilbert. You know, one thing that has been a big upgrade as he's gone through the years. It's a good pitch. I know he missed on the EPC trace a little bit, but still needed that fastball. But the difference is, look, you struggle a little bit first time to the lineup, first couple innings.
Now the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1.
You start to see that fastball usage a little bit more because I feel like that slider is kind of staying on the lane. It's getting really horizontal.
And Mr. Sticky has some kind of a point. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Mr. Sticky says, Sonics aren't coming back. It's a con. NBA wants Seattle viewership, so they are leeching on fans and hopes and nostalgia, but they won't actually put their money where their mouth is, which is true. Which is what I don't like about Adam Silver. He's always patronizing, saying that, oh, yeah, Seattle's a great fan base, but they haven't said anything about getting expansion team. And now the 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. And that's going to be strike 3, and that's going to retire the side. We go to bottom of the 4th. Still 3-0 Tigers. We got an order for a Hawaiian pizza. While he makes that pizza, what's up, baseball fans and pizza lovers? In celebration of the start of the baseball season, we've got a home run of a deal for you. We're offering 50% off all menu items on Mondays and Tuesdays and 25% off bowling. Don't strike out on this amazing deal. Check out our menu in the description of this video. And start ordering now. Delivery is also welcome. This offer goes through April. Hey, Kevin Kirby, the most fan with a different opinion. How are you, man? Sir? However you want to be addressed as. By the way, there's the information for Sahara Pizza. You can go on the link. Check out our menu. 50% off the menu. You can get access to the Snoqualmie food truck, too. They got authentic Mexican food and burgers and French fries. Their French fries are so amazing. After that one box of fries, you're done eating. It's so good. It's ridiculously good. I should have had it on Sunday in the draft party. Yeah, it was great. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Pizza Boy. He also is Pizza Boy right here. I've always kind of wondered, why does college use aluminum bats and pros use wooden bats? And, I'm kind of curious about that too. I'd like to know about that. A lot of strikeouts already, and I really wanted that guy in my fantasy baseball team, but someone named McLovin actually already knows my baseball strategy, which is starting any pitcher against the Mariners. And we got not Luke Rayleigh, we got Cal Raleigh up to the plate, and he swings and a miss for strike one. For my hockey league, I'm winning 5-2 in my third place game.
Going up top on Cal, 1-2.
The offense just need to promote all their young players and sign a big bat. Yeah, will they do that? No. I've never been to Chicago Great Pizza. Wait, is there a Chicago Great Pizza in Seattle? Is there? Or are you just saying, strike three, call, down he goes? Oh, I think you're just asking me if I've been to Chicago Great Pizza. No, I have not been to Chicago. I don't intend to go to Chicago because of Southside Chicago. I would only go for a Bulls game or any Mariners. Yeah, Chicago's off my list. Yeah, maybe I'll visit the Home Alone house, the McAllister house, but that's about it. In Winnipeg, I think. They call it the most boring town in America, which I'm perfectly fine with. As we're looking at 0-1 for Randy Arozarena. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's going to be strike two already for Randy Arozarena. Probably going to strike out in this inning, too, at this point. And the pitch again. Fouled it. Just got under it. As we're looking at 0-2. And now the pitch. Low, and that almost gets away. Doesn't matter because there's nobody on base right now.
Feels like that last foul ball in front to Randy that he found back. It's been kind of a few misses from KC5 so far.
So we're looking at 1-2. And now the pitch. And he gets under it, popped up. Should be playable by the catcher. And he makes the catch. And that's going to be 2 outs. And Mariners have, just to think that the Mariners have only gotten 1 hit. And I don't even remember who even got the hit. It was, for the Mariners, it was Victor Robles, but that's it. Can't believe I'm still covering this game. Now we got Luke Rayleigh, who had a great opportunity to get at least 1 or 2 runs in, but he struck out his last time up. And now the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. We might as well go to the next inning. We might as well just go to the next series. As we're looking at 1-0. And the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike one. I have no idea how this Mariners offense is still not clicking at all. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike two. Now the 1-2. Swing and a miss again, strike three, and another 1-2-3 inning. And now we've got still 3-0. This is really, 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 really depressing. Maybe I'll show you something that will make me. I'll show this video.
My point is it's across all Seattle sports. It's this idea, like people pleading 3-4 years ago to bring back Ichiro when Ichiro's like 93 years old. I'm like, no, I do not want to bring back Ichiro. Like Griffey when he's got a walker out there and he gives you a single every 60 games. Like the list goes on and on. Like people crying, like Haniger comes back, and you think that we just signed a Hall of Famer. Like he was injured all of last year. He's like 33 years old. We trade for him, give up on Robbie Ray, which whatever, and all of a sudden, I swear, all of Twitter is like, "World Series, baby! Let's go! Let's go!" He was a negative WAR player for them last year, but because we love Hanny, baby. He's going to come and save the Mariners.
Yeah, I needed that. I needed some kind of comedy. Maybe we're going to add some more softball clips to make all of us feel any better, because this game is never going to make me feel better unless the Mariners win, of course. Still have Logan Gilbert up there. I think this is his last inning, the pitch. And the foul ball. I think he's like at 75 pitches now. 76. But he kind of has to pitch more because the bullpen's still burned out from yesterday, which is why Vargas was pitching the longest. And now the pitch up high for a ball.
This is where it tests it. Like Gilbert in the 5th inning. Just punch that beside the 4th. They've given up 3 early.
And now the pitch again. And that's going to be a liner and fouled. I'm going to upload some softball clips and I'll play them. I'll delete them. This is an all-time classic. Colleges use aluminum bats because they don't break. Wooden bats because of tradition, I guess. Altuve got a home run, didn't he? Josh is back. And I'm trying to get Josh into my show for Mariners versus Astros. It's either going to be on Monday or Tuesday that would be doing one of those shows. So I'll stay updated to all of you. And now the pitch. And foul ball again. Zach McKinstry is really making life miserable for Logan Gilbert, jacking up all the pitches. And now the 2-2 pitch. And now here's a ground ball right to second base. Throw to first in time. That was Ryan Bliss who made the play to make it 1 out. About another hour until Jay Trident Podcast is on the show. He says about 8:30 to 8:45. So about 40 to an hour is when he'll be here. As we're looking at top of the 5th. And now the pitch. Jay Trident is the best Mariner fan of all time. Ouch. That hurts. But I understand. But you're on my show. As we're looking at 0-1 for Riley Green. And now the pitch. And that is up high for a ball. Well, I would be a bit away, but probably he in the 5th inning I could probably join. Okay, no problem. As we're looking at 1-1. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Riley Green was the best WAR player on the Tigers last year, as the Angels have defeated the Cardinals 9-7. As we're looking at 1-2, the pitch low for a ball, and that's going to be 2-2. Well, you do grad school. What are you studying, Josh? It better be good. Better have a good ROI as well. And now the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice strikeout by Logan Gilbert. He has actually 8 strikeouts. Actually striking out well, but unfortunately he's just giving up runs, but they were mostly by errors, and I think they should be considered they should be unearned runs. And I don't even have Logan Gilbert on my team. I got a save out of Hoffman, though. Gave me a strikeout and a save. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Public history. What kind of a job do you think you can get, Josh? Hope you can get a good one. Sorry, I had to ask. Just that people go to college. So we're looking at 0-1. And now the pitch. And that is going to be outside for a ball, 1-1. Hope it's a good one. So we're looking at 1-1. And now the pitch. Is your courses online or are they like in person? Spire is warming up along with Gregory Santos. And the pitch. And that is going to be strike 2. We got pitch 90 for Logan Gilbert. I think he's done after this inning. So they are in person. Hope you got scholarships. 2-2. Fans are getting after it. 9 strikeouts for Logan. And now the 2-2 pitch. And that is just missing it for a ball. 3-2. Now we're looking at 3-2. And now the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 10 for Logan Gilbert. And that's going to retire the side. But the Mariners have got to freaking score to give Logan Gilbert any kind of run support, which they won't give it to him.
Sadly, my cameraman accidentally hit the end button. But here's an idea what the play looked like. I got the out, I swear. If you don't believe me, well, that's your problem.
Well, those were my hits that I did. It's funny that people get on the Mariners about striking out. The Tigers have struck out 10 times in 5 innings. Aha! You got me there. You got me there, Kevin. But how about this? Who has 3 runs? The Tigers? That's what I thought. You almost had me there, Kevin. You really did. And now it's dark. The sun is down. Let me check my fantasy baseball team on Yordan Alvarez. Now here's Rowdy Tellez. That's going to be outside for a ball. Alvarez is batting .063. Yeah, poor Yordan. Now we're looking at 1-1. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to second base. Throw to first in time. Guess it wasn't even worth running it out at all. Yeah, but we are not the Astros. We're the Mariners. The Mariners doesn't, just because the Astros bats aren't exactly doing well, doesn't make it okay for the Mariners to play stink ball. It really doesn't. It's inexcusable. I hate to say it. As we got pop up by Ryan Bliss. And he makes the catch. We're looking at another potential easy 1-2-3 inning. Mariners have 0 runs. I believe the Mariners or the Tigers may have. Here's Miles Mastroboni. He's not going to do anything, I swear. Looks like Casey Mize has retired 12 batters in a row. It's going to be 13 real soon. And the pitch. That is outside for a ball, 2-0. Casey Mize has been dominating the Mariners. And the pitch. Up high for a ball again. That's going to be 3-0. And I'm going to say the red light. Well, the Yankees aren't struggling early. I'll tell you that, Kevin Kirby. And the pitch. And that is a strike this time. Very clever pitch. Yeah, but I'm still not going to excuse that. And the 3-1. Now here's a ground ball. It's going to be 13 in a row retired. And that's going to retire the side. Another easy 1-2-3 inning. That is 13 in a row that Casey Mize has retired. 13 in a row. And I'll be happy to check if there's a play-by-play. There it is. So last time the Mariners even got any kind of a hit. Let me take a look. Actually, it's 14 in a row. 14 batters in a row. Team meeting, huh? I don't even know if that's going to even do diddly squat, to be honest with you. Until then, I'm just going to show clips of the games. I have about 5 clips coming in. And let me show some pizza. We just got an order. While he makes that pizza, what's up, baseball fans and pizza lovers? In celebration of the start of the baseball season, we've got a home run of a deal for you. We're offering 50% off all menu items on Mondays and Tuesdays and 25% off bowling. Don't strike out on this amazing deal. Check out our menu in the description of this video and start ordering now. Delivery is also welcome. This offer goes through April. And we are back from the break, and it looks like Gabe Spire is going to take over for Logan Gilbert as Dan Wilson thinks 90 pitches is enough for Logan Gilbert. So once again, he is at best going to have another no decision, unfortunately. Gabe Spire last season struggled 5.70 ERA in 29 games. So he is going to have a better season if the Mariners bullpen is going to be any better. But if the Mariners offense isn't going any better, then nothing matters. Now the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to right field, and Victor Robles is there, and he makes the catch, and that's going to be 1 out. I feel bad for this pitching staff too. But do you know who I felt bad for more was Felix Hernandez. Huh. But still really bad. And much of those runs that happened were very preventable. As we are in the top of the 6th inning. Dennis Strand, Seattle has the best stadium in baseball and a team of crap. And now the pitch. And that is a strike. I understand the move too. Why one night we have great hitting and we have garbage pitching? Can't have it both ways, can you? And now the pitch. And that is a strike. Josh, hey, Rooftop, I have news. I just got the Mariners. They're going to sign a super team after the game. April Fools! As now we're looking at 0-2. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Colt Keith. And now we've got 1 out. I was hitting the panic button throughout the offseason, TC. Now we're looking at top of the 6th inning. And now the pitch. I mean, Mitch Haniger got fired eventually, I guess. But he still made a crap ton of money. We're looking at 0-1. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Gabe Spire is actually doing pretty well with his location. Manuel Margot is on fire. 5 for 11 this season. Batting .455. Now we're got an 0-2. And now the pitch. Up high for a ball. As we are looking at 1-2 from Gabe Spire to Margot. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. An easy 1-2-3 inning by Gabe Spire. Let him pitch one more inning after that dominant of a performance by Gabe Spire, which I'm very appreciative with. And now we are going into the next inning. It's going to be the bottom of the 6th. We got an order for a Hawaiian pizza. While he makes that pizza, what's up, baseball fans and pizza lovers? In celebration of the start of the baseball season, we've got a home run of a deal for you. We're offering 50% off all menu items on Mondays and Tuesdays and 25% off bowling. Don't strike out on this amazing deal. Check out our menu in the description of this video. And start ordering now. Delivery is also welcome. This offer goes through April.
I got it.
Nice.
Let's go one. Nice play.
Nice.
All right,
Hey, you're going all the way, all the way.
home. Go home.
Hey, you're home. You're up.
That's a double? Oh.
Yeah, it's a double.
Woo! Go, run! Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah!
And we are back from the break. Now here's JP Crawford. And now the pitch. Going to be, after JP Crawford, it's going to be the top of the lineup. JP Crawford struck out in his last time out. As we're looking at a 1-1 on JP. And now the pitch. It's going to be popped up and fouled. As we're looking at 1-2 and the pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. And a ground ball foul. Mariners playing very uninspiring baseball. Yeah, JP Crawford shouldn't even be on this team anymore. Was going to Comerica Park when they came here in July, but they may have to rethink that. Probably. And the 2-2. Low for a ball. And another donation by Freeze. Thank you very much. That's 5, 1, and 2. I'm at $9 this game. Magic number is 41. The pitch. Up high for ball 4. Take your base. And JP Crawford gets on base with a walk. And that 14 retired in a row is over. Ball 4, take your base. Indeed. And now we got Victor Robles, the pitch. And that is going to be outside for a ball. Let's hope that this will be a more inspiring situation. Let's at least advance the runner at least. Maybe just drop the bunt and give Julio a chance to score in the run. Now the pitch. I'm telling you, you should drop the bunt. I would say drop the bunt. I guarantee if he was on the Dodgers, he would be their 9-hole hitter in platoon. Ooh. Woo! Talking about Julio Rodriguez on that one. As we are looking at 1-1 for Victor Robles. And the pitch. Up high for a ball. TC, regarding the draft, I think their priority should be running back. See if there's a wideout out there. Get Jackson Dart as a project quarterback. Probably something like that. And an offensive lineman, as if I already said it. And now the 2-1. Now here's a ground ball. Now it's caught, and that's going to be a double play. Victor Robles just hit into a double freaking play. That was caught by Spencer Torkelson. It's like JP Crawford, pay attention. I mean, there's not much he could have really done, but he had way too big of a lead. It's not a tough break. It was just JP Crawford not paying attention. And that was on insane exit velocity. And now the pitch. And that is up high for a ball. I'm telling you, the best winning strategy in fantasy baseball is add anyone against the Mariners. I'm not going to blame the ballpark. I can't blame the ballpark. Let's pitch. And that's going to be a 3-0 count. Imagine if Victor Robles just dropped down a freaking bunt. I told him to drop the bunt. As we're looking at 3-0, if I were to just hit the home run, and that was your home run pitch. Julio swings at stupid pitches, but he won't pitch. He swings at dumb pitches, but he won't swing at a good pitch. That could have been out of there. As we're looking at 3-1 in the pitch. And that's going to be strike 2. And Julio's just trying to walk. Just absolutely no sense of urgency on this Mariners offense. You're only down 3 runs. You're not down 6. So you were willing to fight against a 6-run deficit, but you're not willing to fight against a 3-run deficit? And this is against a no-name pitcher who had injury problems. And now the 3-2. And ball 4, take your base, and I really don't care. Because and if Cal Raleigh's up, sure, whatever. At this point, just hit for home runs. As AJ Hinch looks like he has seen enough, and he's going to bring in the reliever. Looks like he's bringing in a lefty to do that lefty. Well, Cal Raleigh's going to bat righty. If he wants him to swing on his weak side of the bat, nope, it's still going to be a righty. So they're going to bring him in, and he pitched extremely well. And I'm telling you, the best fantasy baseball strategy is to start any starter against the Mariners. That's all I can say.
We got an extra large pizza for delivery.
While he makes that pizza, what's up, baseball fans and pizza lovers? In celebration of the start of the baseball season, we've got a home run of a deal for you. We're offering 50% off all menu items on Mondays and Tuesdays and 25% off bowling. Don't strike out on this amazing deal. Check out our menu in the description of this video and start ordering now. Delivery is also welcome. This offer goes through April. The offer goes through April. Going to add new softball clips again. Got a lot more clips this time. I am now on, got 10 concurrent viewers. And now we are back from the break. It's pretty nice. I'm making $10 a night on these games. It really is. And I thank all of you for doing it. And now we got Dumper Cal Raleigh the pitch. And he swings at a horrible pitch. And that is going to be strike one. Now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Already strike two. And now we're looking at 0-2 and the pitch. Outside for a ball. Crazy to think that the bases could have been loaded. Nothing like watching the Mariners suck. BBC at the plate, drinking a beer. We are so back. Yeah, I guess the internet was so ashamed. It didn't even want me to cover the Mariners game. How embarrassing. And now I'm back. Ooh. Maybe this is a spark, right? The bad internet. Maybe I should connect my phone. Yeah. Use it as a backup in case, you know. Now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to Ryan Bliss. Throw to first. That is in time. I love these comments. It froze. Can't blame him. No, I'm not going to give up. It's a long season. Plus, I care about my 100 goal anyway. And now the next pitch. And that is a ball. I wonder how that was even missed. As we're looking at 1-0, and now the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. Yeah, you know it's going to be a long season when my streaming failed and betrayed me. And the pitch. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And after this inning, we're going into the 7th inning stretch. As we're looking at 2-1. And Santos is pitching the pitch. And that is a strike. Personally, I would have just saved Gabe Spire. Gabe Spire only pitched 8 pitches and you pulled him out. Maybe Dan Wilson isn't what I would make it out to be. I would bet, I don't know, probably $5. And we're looking at 2-2. And now the pitch. Here's a ground ball right to the third base by Mastroboni for the first. In time, that's going to be 2 outs. Just I think that the bullpen has been pitching very well. We've been to the playoffs 5 times, I believe. 1995, 1997, which was an accident, by the way, 2000, 2001, and 2022. 5 times in like 50 years or 45 years of. No, it is almost 50 years, 48 years. Of course, you're going to feel that way. That's going to be a foul ball. Santos has been throwing 100-mile-an-hour. He looks like he is in game form this season. And now the pitch. That is up high for a ball. Yeah, poverty franchise, to say the least. Now the 1-1. And now here's a liner, and that is going to get right through for a base hit. J.P. Crawford could not field that. J.P. Crawford just can't play defense anymore either. He's not even good. Mariners have given nothing for me to even put anything. What are you talking about? The Rangers just won. Who's another team that hasn't won? Oh, Colorado Rockies, right. JP does need to go. No kidding. And that is a strike. I wonder if it's going to get to the point. Are they going to rush Colt Emerson out of desperation? What are they going to do? As we are looking at 0-1. And now the pitch. And now here is a ball in the throw to second. Not in time. Stolen base. At this point, we'll bring up Cole Young at this point. But he's in AAA, so you would think that he's going to be close to Major League Baseball. And the pitch. Now here's a ground ball right to JP this time to throw to first. That is in time, and that's going to retire the side. It is time for the 7th inning stretch. And I am going to not only sing the 7th inning stretch, but I will also sing the Louie Louie. Give me just a moment. First, it is Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. It's already a shame. They've already lost this game. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Louie, Louie. Oh no, then we gotta go. Yeah. Oh, Louie, Louie. Oh, baby, then we gotta go. A fine little girl, she waiting for me. Gotcha ship across the sea. I will ship all alone. We never did think make it home. Louie, Louie. Na. And we are back from the break. 7th inning stretch. You hate that song? What do you want? Okay, then what do you want me to sing for the 7th inning stretch? What kind of song can you think of? Can you give me song requests? Put your money where your mouth is. Do something about it. Now, yeah, we got Randy Arozarena. And now here's the pitch to Arozarena. That's going to be inside for a ball. Jay Trident podcast should be here within the next, I would say, 20 minutes. And now the 1-0. And that is outside for a ball. It's going to be a 2-0. Mariners are in absolute danger of losing this series. And now the pitch again. That is up high for a ball. 3-0. And knowing Randy Arozarena and how just get on base at this point. You don't need to hit a home run right now because you can't. Not right now. And the 3-0. That was right in there for a strike. I mean, I asked for the red light. I guess I got what I wanted. Yep, Reese B said green light, but he didn't do it. Guess he actually did take my advice. Another 3-1 pitch. And ball 4, take your base, and Randy Arozarena gets on the base for the walk. Now we got Luke Raley up to the plate. I would say, what do we got here? Luke Raley. I'd try to hit a home run because can you really trust Rowdy Tellez, Ryan Bliss, Miles Mastroboni, and JP Crawford? Can you really trust that? Nope. This is your last chance to literally hit anything. So realistically, you have to hit a home run. And now the pitch. Oh, and that gets away. Does Randy Arozarena go to second base? He does. And he will get to second base with a runner in scoring position. And now I'll say maybe you don't have to hit a home run. Just try to just put it in play. Yeah, but choke happens maybe? I don't know. But yeah, but Shohei Ohtani being on there, that really helps them a lot. But the Mariners could have, they should have went for Shohei Ohtani as we're looking at 1-1. And now the pitch up high for a ball. That's a 2-1 count. Yeah, thank God it can't be a double play. You are correct. And just so you know, I'm at $41 to the goal. Let's get to 50. And now 2-1. Ground ball foul. Now it's strike 2. If you strike out, this inning's over. Because what? You're not going to get Rowdy Tellez is garbage. Ryan Bliss is garbage. Miles Masterboni is garbage. You're not getting anything. As we're looking at 2-2 and the pitch. And why did he swing at that? Now it's going to be 2-2 still. He nearly struck out on that, and he should have struck out. 308 with runners in scoring position last season. Now we're looking at 2-2. And now the pitch. And there's going to be a ground ball. It's going to advance. Randy Rosarena throw to first in time. But great hustle by Luke Raley, at least. I like the effort. Now you got Randy Rosarena at third base. And at this point, Randy just drop the bunt or do some kind of like sacrifice fly effort. I don't know. How was your trip to wherever you went? I don't know where you went. You went to Wally World. How about that murders row? Rowdy, Bliss, and Masterboni. Yep. Ian's back.
How are you enjoying the game?
Oh, it's been great. I think even my internet is giving up on the Mariners because I actually was out for a minute. As we're looking at 1-0 for Rowdy Tellez. He is 0 for 5 this series. It's almost like I don't even remember when he got a hit. So we're looking at 1-0. And now the pitch. And now here's a line drive, and that is going to be caught. But Rosarena is coming home, and the no throw to the plate, or it was thrown to the plate, and that's going to be not in time. And Randy Rosarena helps the Mariners get on the board on a sacrifice fly by Rowdy Tellez. It's now the Tigers 3 and the Mariners 1. Like, I was so shocked that the Mariners scored a run that I was stuttering.
Hey, it looks like old Rowdy found a hit. He must have heard out there and actually pieced one for us.
He finally did it.
That is actually a great catch right there. That is good defense. If only the Mariners could play defense like that.
Thank God we got a run, everyone. We finally got a run. And now here's Ryan Bliss. Oh, great. We're screwed. The pitch, and that is low for a ball. Rowdy saw a donut shop out in left field. If only the ball just happened to drop. It looked promising, too. And the pitch. Why? Why would you swing at that? That was obviously a really bad pitch. This game alone proves that these torpedo bats are not going to mean anything. As we're looking at 1-1 and the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball.
What do you mean?
Hit
The
the skinny
torpedo
part
bats
of
would
his bat.
save the team.
Torpedo bats won't do anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're not going to help us.
Nope. So we're stuck on 1-2. Ryan Bliss is 1 for 14 in this season. And now the pitch. And that is a ball. Just get a hurricane bat then. Let's try the torpedo bats, but I know the torpedo bats aren't going to do anything. Maybe it will prevent the marine layer at best, but that's about it. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's going to retire the side. I think it's safe to say Ryan Bliss is not going to be on this team any longer. I think he's already proving himself out of the team.
Yeah.
Well, until then, why don't we cheer us up with my kick butt softball performance?
Why do you like him?
Because he gets on base.
Go two. Stay there.
Does that make anyone feel better? And Fritz is on fire. He put me on $10. The magic number is 40 to get to the goal of 50. What we got? I guarantee they will call up Cole Young soon. What do they got to lose at this point? It doesn't do any better to hoard these prospects. Oh, and don't trade them at all for actual talent either. What are the Mariners even doing? The only ones to have been either one or two. Wait, what? And now the pitch. And that is inside for a ball. 1903 was to a Boston team for the Pirates. And 1927 was to the arguably the best baseball team in the history of baseball, the 1927 Yankees. And the 1-0. And now here's a fly ball to left field and still going back. And here's Randy Arozarena, and he doesn't get it, and that's going to be a home run. And the Mariners are now trailing 4-1. That was a home run by Riley Green, and the lead continues to expand. And not exactly a good effort by Randy Arozarena, and it's now the Tigers 4 and the Mariners 1. That was, I think Randy Arozarena could have made a better effort on that one. That was absolutely fieldable. I think even 50-year-old Ichiro would have made that catch. Yeah, Trent Thornton, he's proving himself out of the job as well. Yeah, I think that was fieldable. You just had to climb the wall. And the pitch. And that is in there for a strike. Yeah, Arozarena should have caught that. I don't know why he wasn't able to catch that. Just lackluster effort by Arozarena. And now the pitch. And that is up high for a ball. Like Trent Thornton, out of all players. Yeah, he's going to save us. As we're looking at 1-1. And the pitch. I can hear everything, man. As we're looking at 2-1 for Trent Thornton. Or Spencer Torkelson. 3 for 8 in this series, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. And that is strike 1. I would like to say we are just this bad. You think the Marine layer is self-aware? No, we're just bad. Marine layer is not causing any of this. And now they're trying to say batter's eye out of all things. People out there just like to make excuses. I hate the excuses being made. As we're looking at 3-2 for Spencer Torkelson, the pitch. And now here's a ground ball right to JP, and he has not much time to throw to first in time. No, I am not joining the Astros. That's just lazy. I will not join the Astros. Do not make me join the Astros. I won't do it. You'll get some play-by-play games out of me, though, but that's really about it. Now I got the next batter. And now the pitch. And that is going to be, I think that was a strike. The cans, huh? 0-1. As we're looking at 0-1, 0-2 so far, with 1 out. Yeah, I would start cheating too. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying. The pitch outside for a ball, 1-2. And the sad thing is, this is actually going to be my last game until Sunday. I will not be available for the next 3 games. And the 1-2 pitch, and that's a foul ball. Yeah, I will not be available against the Tigers tomorrow because I'm at work in the middle of the day. I won't be available against the Giants because they just happen to make it their opener at 4 o'clock, which makes no sense because it's in the middle of freaking rush hour. And then we got the Giants game on Saturday, which I won't be able to be there. The pitch, and that is low for a ball, 2-2. You think so, huh, Josh? As we're looking at 2-2. And now the pitch going to be by Trent Thornton. And now here is a liner bloop, and Actually, it was more of a pop-up. Not really pop-up. It was a little liner, and Victor Robles makes the catch, and that's going to be 2 outs.
Hey, we finally got an out.
CB Buckner was not even paying attention.
Yeah,
CB Buckner jogging with them.
I don't know, that Randy home run, if they keep showing it, I'm going to get more pissed off at his out after he missed it.
Oh, and Trent Thornton's being pulled. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. The bullpen was pitching very well. You had Gabe Spire, who only pitched 8 pitches. And after that, Gregory Santos only 13 pitches. Oh, well, let's pull him out and let Trent Thornton pitch 14 pitches. Yeah. I think Dan Wilson, I don't know. Either maybe we can say this is a Jerry DiPoto thing. I mean, do you think it's more of a Jerry DiPoto or a Dan Wilson issue with these really bad bullpen movements?
Is showing that he can't manage right now.
Seems like to be. I guess Jonathan Diaz is going to be the next pitcher. So yeah, that's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, we're kind of floundering, and the Giants are beating the Astros, so I think we're going to get swept.
More than likely.
RoofTopSports is now streaming on FUBO. Watch the narrations and more local teams. Streaming all your devices. Watch over 100 top shows.
Should have hired Francona. Should have hired Stephen Vogt. He was literally in the organization in 23.
We could have hired anyone that would be better right now. Did you see that commercial they just showed on RoofTopSports advertising for FUBO streams? I'm surprised they would have a rival streaming service advertised on that.
Oh, yeah. How pathetic. FUBO's like, oh, crap, we're losing money.
Well, FUBO's awful. It's so slow.
Oh, Leo Rivas is recalled from AAA because they optioned because Jorge Polanco was out for a bit.
Well, Jorge should be back in 3 days.
True. So we're gonna have Leo Rivas playing maybe tomorrow and Friday.
Never comes back to the Mariners, I think I'd be happy.
It's sad that he was like a very hyped prospect along with George Kirby, and it just didn't work out. I think it's because he had an injury problem. He never recovered. Look at Jonathan Diaz. He looks like in great shape, and that is a 1-1 pitch with a strike.
Yeah, I think it was a good attempt. I think it just didn't work out for him.
It didn't work out. I mean, I didn't fault anything. It just didn't work. And that's going to be a 2-2 or like a 1-2 on Colt Keith. Got 2 outs.
They
went with the
79 miles an hour in the big leagues.
I mean, it was okay back then. Should we call Diaz Dairy Queen? I wonder if he has his own. As we're looking at 1-2, and now the pitch outside for a ball, and that's going to be a 2-2 count. And we're looking at 2-2. And now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball, more like a pop-up. J.P. Crawford is there, and he makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side. Mariners running out of time, though. They only have 6 outs left, or else this game is over, and they'll lose the series to the Tigers. I know.
If we don't win a series in the next 5 series we play, we're really in trouble.
Yeah, the season could just be over by then.
Well, I mean, for us, because
because we don't know how to make up for losses.
Well, yeah, but that's 100% true. But we can't even compete. It's just
no, you can't compete at all. I mean, how long until Mariners start holding Dan Wilson to a high account? But then again,
I thought Dan was going to bring something. I thought he had an idea, and I'm starting to wonder if they hired Dan because he's cheap, not because he's good.
Yeah, I kind of saw the red flags. after he pulled Logan Gilbert after not even 80 pitches. I thought that was my first red flag.
It was. I think my first was actually last season when after the first game we had the comeback win. In game 2, we just stopped competing. And again, if you listen to me last year, I'm a big Dan Wilson fan. I really believed in the guy. We're not competing. This team is worse than last year, and we have a worse roster in my opinion, but it's just not there.
It is worse because they all got a year older and they didn't get anyone new other than Donovan Solano, which I wouldn't even count that at this point. They hired
I think
Dan
Polanco
Wilson.
is a really cheap grab, and I think Solano's awful.
Yeah, he is. They hired Wilson because nostalgia to buy favor of fans. I don't think he's ever really coached. Of course he hasn't.
Dan
But
has
then you
been
have
with the organization. He's been a catching coach up and down for our thing, but he hasn't been something crazy or anything. Oh, it's such a classic thing they're showing on Root Sports when they.
I saw that.
Yeah, he drove the green Chevy.
Yeah, it's kind of random out of all things. Why are they doing it for the Blue Jays? What about the Mariners? And now here's Miles Mastroboni. And now the
His name
pitch.
really does stretch the whole jersey.
Really does. Yeah. Oh, yeah, John Olerud. And the 0-2. And that is going to be low for a ball, 1-2. The only maybe breathing hope the Mariners have is they're getting close to the top of the lineup, but is that really going to say much at all? I don't know. Probably not.
I wonder.
We're looking at 1-2
today,
and the pitch. And now here's a ground ball right to third base to throw to first. That is in time. I would have liked to see more hustle out of Mastroboni. That wasn't really much of a hustling effort.
Is Kirby here today? I'm curious.
Kevin Kirby is here, yes.
I'd like to hear what his thoughts are on the hitting today.
I don't think he's even going to say anything about it. The pitch.
We are one for.
As we're looking at J.P. Crawford as the 0-1.
We are 1 for 22.
And now the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to center field and caught by the center fielder.
We are now 1 for 23 on the day. I'd like to hear his thoughts about how great our hitting is today.
And we have 2 outs already. Now we got Victor Robles up to the plate. And last time he hit one right to Spencer Torkelson that literally just broke the momentum. But that's the thing about the Mariners.
I mean, Robles is first, though, the only hit of the day. He's not bad. I mean, I like what I see out of him, but his defense is very concerning this season.
It really is. And we got a foul ball.
Can we call that fair and stretch the territory since we can't hit?
Yeah, what's that? That's gonna be the next problem, isn't it? The 0-1 and a swing and a miss at the dirt strike too. Like this is just very uninspiring Mariners baseball. They just look completely
it's
lost.
Almost like they don't have a drive to even want to compete in the ball game.
And yet they were willing to do that with a 6-0 deficit.
Yep.
The 0-2. Now here's a ground ball shortstop. We can guess what this is going to be. And that is out. And that's going to be another easy 1-2-3 inning. And we, I'm just going to show my softball highlights. Well, actually, after this pizza ad, because I gotta get something out for my bossy. We got an order for a Hawaiian pizza. While he makes that pizza, what's up, baseball fans and pizza lovers? In celebration of the start of the baseball season, we've got a home run of a deal for you. We're offering 50% off all menu items on Mondays and Tuesdays and 25% off bowling. Don't strike out on this amazing deal. Check out our menu in the description of this video. And start ordering now. Delivery is also welcome. This offer goes through April.
Yeah. Nice job.
Come on, Dorn, get in front of the damn ball. Don't.
Yeah. Nice hit.
Let's do.
Who's third base? Don't look at the ball.
There you go, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, stay. Let's go.
It looks like we're going to be back from the break. I hope you enjoyed all of those highlights of my softball games from last year. Jonathan Diaz is now back on the mound. He looks in really good shape. Really does. Now the pitch. Big curveball, and that is going to be a strike, a 68-mile-an-hour curveball. We need Scott Service back. Screw this. And now the 0-1. And that's going to be low for a ball.
I don't know if you touched on the question. My thing was pretty quiet. The past 3 years, yeah, they look good in spring training. Well, they look good this year in spring training. They come out with energy. I don't know. They just don't have the fire to come out winning. Like last year, we got in the lead and we weren't horrible, but I mean, it's like we fell off the horse. I don't even know what happened last year. We just fell off.
Yeah. Now we got a 2-1 count so far and the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and fouled.
I don't think it's a Scott Service thing. I think we do need Jerry gone.
No, Jerry, I think, is the problem. He's just toxic. Justin Hollander is basically a yes man and also a liar. He's like, yeah, we've been working hard. We've been trying, but nothing's just going our way. Liar.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, actually.
And now the next pitch. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. And now the pitch. And now here's a line drive caught by J.P. Crawford. He catches a liner, finally does it. And now that's going to be 1 out.
It's a solid play by JP.
The only reason I'm going to go to the Mariners game against Miami is just for my friend's birthday because he really wants to go. I actually tried to talk him out of it. I was like, why don't we just go to some like minor league baseball game for your birthday? And say he's like, no, it's got to be Mariners. I'm like, okay, fine. But I'm trying to find ways to get that ticket for free. The pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball.
I would love to agree with you, Reese, but I just don't think so.
We got Jay Trident podcast coming on in just a moment, as I just got word from Jay Trident. And now the 0-1, and that's going to be low for a ball. That is going to be 1-1. So we're going to be on 3 people, I guess. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball that gets right through for a base hit. Like, I know that was fast, but I really do think that Ryan Bliss should have at least dove for that one. Maybe they'll show the replay. You couldn't live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Scott Thanos Service. Wow. Isn't the whole strategy of all pitching, no hitting just demoralizing? The point that the game is just to hit the ball. Yeah. Yeah, this kind of baseball just isn't fun at all. And now the pitch. And that is going to be missing for a ball. As we're looking at 1-0. And now the pitch. And that's going to be missing it for a ball, 2-0. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up. Should be playable. Ryan Bliss is going to be there, and he makes the catch to make it 2 outs. And just to think that we are going into the bottom of the 9th inning with only 1 hit, 1 GD hit. Just like what Bob Yeckler? Bob
Bat
Uecker?
boy, huh? That bat boy is pretty good, actually, Reese.
I guess so. As we got 2 outs, we're going into the bottom of the 9th. And after this inning, it's going to be, I think it's going to be Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, and Randy Arozarena. So maybe back-to-back-to-back home runs would be nice. That's all. They live and die by the home run, unfortunately.
Home runs, rooftop, and then Rowdy Tellez will hit the walk-off, baby. World Series, baby.
Series, baby. So now we're looking at an 0-1 by Jonathan Diaz. 18 pitches for Diaz, and this game has been really just boring to watch. But yeah, I'm still covering it because I want to get that goal of 100. And now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball foul. More like back-to-back-to-back strikeouts. Yup. So inspiring. I love it. And it's so true. True to the word.
Maybe if you say back, they'll strike out. Maybe they'll actually hit the ball and play this time.
Maybe they just might. And now we're looking at, foul ball. And that's going to be still strike 2. Now we're looking at 0-2.
I have a feeling if the Mariners don't start winning, we could be in for a pretty demoralized crowd. It may get really small here at Safeco for a while.
I'm okay with that. Hold ownership accountable.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that the ownership would do something if that's the case.
Mariners bring back Scott Service. World Series, baby. Now here's ground ball foul again. 1-2.
I would actually never watch another Mariners game again if Scott Service got hired back.
Yeah, but you'll still join my show, right?
Yes, I'd be on the show. I'd be watching because I'm doing the show, not because I would want to ever hear of Service managing again.
Yeah. And the pitch and the foul ball again. Last time the Mariners were 1 hit was August 15th at the Tigers. The only hit was Victor Robles.
That didn't age well.
Nope. As we're looking at 1-2 by Diaz. And now the pitch. Inside, and that nearly got him. That was an 89 mile an hour.
Gosh,
I don't think
I'd
Diaz is
rather
going to
watch the
last that
Angels
long.
play the A's 60
Pretty
times
much.
before I'd ever do an Astro or join the Astros.
Yeah, same here. Now the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball foul. We got our friend Jay Trident Podcast here. Let's see if this works. There you are. How are you, sir?
Good. Can you guys hear me all right?
Oh, yeah, we do all right. But this game is an absolute disaster. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Yeah, with Tariq Skubal. You know what the worst part was? I was actually trying to add whoever the starter was for the Tigers, and my friend McLovin in our league is like, oh, I have it. Suck it, because I know your strategy. He literally, every time he adds someone, he literally says, I just added the guy you were going to add.
Well, no chance you're going to get Skubal for tomorrow. So that's, I guess, the one piece of good news is that they make every pitcher look like Skubal. So there's like no difference in facing Skubal, facing anybody else. So
I have Skubal on my team, so I'm looking forward to like 12 strikeouts.
No walks.
I got Suarez. I started Suarez today. He got a grand slam home run.
Saw that.
That trade is really aging well.
Vargas looked good yesterday.
Yeah, and at least Sebi Savala hit a home run against the Rockies. World Series, baby. We're so back.
Boy, it took us all 6 games to give up pretty much.
I mean, I wish I could say that wasn't the case, but you see the product we have out on the field. It's just awful. There's nothing to excite you.
I really just want to say that we are playing the Tigers, and the Tigers have always given us hell. At least Oakland or the A's were also a very annoying team. So maybe
Yeah,
once
but I
we
mean,
play
we got
the
the
other
Giants
teams,
coming up, and they'll probably give us hell too. That's the problem.
yeah, they'll give us hell. And after that, Houston, well, Houston, we kind of gave them hell last year ish until the very end.
Like I worry about the next couple of series that if we don't win another game in the next couple, we have a 15-day road trip coming up here soon, and if we can't turn it around by then, that could just shoot the whole season away.
Yeah,
we gotta get those torpedo bats.
But that is like my concern. Like 2 and 4, obviously. Like, listen, that they were gonna have stretches like that. It's just okay. Then you go to San Francisco, you lose 2 out of 3. Then Houston gets you 2 out of 3, and it's like it just doesn't take much for it to be 5 and 12, 7 and 17. You know, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's just that's what gets frustrating about it is just and this like if this team was 3-time defending AL West champs. You know, I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, whatever, it's fine. It's 2 and 4, it's 6 games. Who cares? But they don't have any benefit of the doubt with the fan base or with any of us, I think.
Well, now we got Julio Rodriguez up to the plate where I am so inspired by that because he's been so good this season. He's at that 1 home run. And now here's the pitch. And that is low for a ball. Like the game was so bad that when you see a ball, you're excited.
To be fair, I'm surprised he didn't swing at that. That's Julio's
Like-
sweet spot right there. right
Like
in the
when
dirt.
Rowdy Tellez hit the sacrifice fly, I stuttered because I was in shock that the Mariners actually scored a run. Now the pitch to Julio, low for a ball, 2-0.
Rally time.
There it goes. Bye-bye. 2 for 7
He's
this series is
fooling me,
Julio.
showing that he can take pitches. I'm surprised.
2-0. Oh, it hit him. As long as it's okay, you know what? Step into it. Wear like some plate armor under your jersey and just take everything. Just step into everything because and fans shouldn't be booing at this point. They should be cheering because and getting hit is your only effective way of offense. I hate it. I hate saying it because
we could get hit every at bat, I would take it. If it made we could win games and put runs across the plate, I don't care how. Just get on base.
So I'm falling on game day. Is he okay? I mean, obviously, like I'll take the base runner, but I'm falling.
He's still running. Yeah, he's still on base, so he's all good.
Okay.
Now here is Cal Raleigh up to the plate in the pitch, outside for a ball. Like
I'm telling you,
if I were
Rowdy
Julio,
Tellez
I would
walk
run the
off
second
grand
base.
slam. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. If that happens, I'm giving you my entire day of donations. $10 whooping dollars. It'll be 1-0. And the pitch. And that is a strike. You know that's going to be a strike because CB Bucknor, his strike zones are just really weird. I mean, yeah, you would think that after he got chewed out by Lou Piniella, he would have actually like maybe been a bit
The
more
gap
consistent.
that's in right field for Cal Raleigh is insane. Like if he could just
Yeah.
pull the ball down the line, it would be
1-1.
so nice.
Popped up. He got under it. And it's only a matter of time till it hits the glove. And now we got 1 out.
The Mariners only have 1 hit. I haven't been able to watch this game. 1 hit. I feel like
By
Bob
Victor
Uecker, Major League.
Robles.
It was to lead off the game, wasn't it? Because they started out.
1 hit. 1 god bleeping hit. You're not supposed to say that. They can't hear us. No one's listening anyway. I have 11 people listening, but people are listening. We
As
got
I said,
Randy
we like
Arozarena.
1 hit. Remember, we need to only win 54% of the time. We can't win
The
this
pitch.
one. It's not in our contract.
Yep, it's a foul ball. And Jerry DePoto says he's still doing us a favor. Randy Arozarena, 3 for 18 this season. These are just bad bleeding numbers
Hey,
to
at
look
least
at.
a couple
0
of them are
1.
home runs though by Randy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he leads the Mariners for home runs.
He does the pitch, and here's fly ball foul. But the one I don't think you heard it, Trident. But what bugs me is when Randy Arozarena hits a home run. He's like yesterday they were down 6-1. He was still crossing his arms. I was like, no, go home. Focus
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
mind, like,
game.
I don't mind like high fives and stuff, but yeah, I was a little bit too like, okay, like 6-0. You can high five and stuff, but let's Just
I mean,
Let's focus.
I agree with that, Trident. I also agree we shouldn't even celebrate if we're down 6 hitting a
0-2.
home run almost. Like it's just like
You know-
just do your job at that point.
You know what? If I'm
Right.
Dan Wilson, you know what I do? I just take the trident away. Take it away. It's too distracting until they actually start hitting.
I think the Trident's stupid in the first place. I'm going to be real.
I like the
your
Vader.
name,
I want
but
the
I just
Vader.
don't
The
understand
Vader
home run
helmet.
Trident. I don't get it at all.
The pitch. 2-2. Oh, just like Josh says, the culture is damn good.
I do.
We
like
really need
the-
some
I miss the
walks.
home run helmet that we used to have. The Darth Vader.
The Vader helmet. That was great. I like that one. The 2-2. And now the pitch. Outside 3-2. So yeah, it should be 3-2. With Luke Raley up on deck, who hasn't been playing well at all. And now we're looking at 3-2 and the pitch. And now here's a ground ball. You better run your freaking butt off to throw to first. And it's in time. And now the Mariners are down to their final out, but Julio gets the second base. I still would have rather liked to see a better run out of Randy Rosarena. Maybe that's just me being crazy. I mean, he doesn't even run that fast. For a guy that steals 20 bases.
If that hung up a little bit longer, I think he makes that.
And now we got 2 outs. Julio should be at second base because the Root Sports thinks he's at first base still. Why does a baseball game have to? Oh, yeah, because they need to accommodate for airplane time. As we're looking at 0-0 and the pitch. Yeah, I mean, for those 1 o'clock games, they usually have their bags packed. They bring it with them, and then they will take a team bus to the airport. So they're going to be going on the plane immediately after this. 1 for 5 in this series is Luke Raley. And the pitch. And that is low for a ball, 2-0. And this is the fact the biggest highlight of this inning is Julio getting hit. That's just sad. That's the only way he's gotten on base. And I don't even think that even counts towards getting on base at all. And the 2-0 and a swing and a miss. And I think if he didn't swing at that could have been a ball, but it looks like he wants to tank
That
it.
would have been
He
a
wants
ball.
to
It was
nuke.
low. It was off the tracer at least.
He wants to nuke Rayleigh it. As we're looking at 2-1, 2 outs. Mariners are pretty much on a thread. The pitch. And now here's a ground ball, and that is going to do it to Torkelson. He steps on the bag, and the ball game is over as the Mariners have fallen in the series. They have lost the series to the Tigers. They lost 4-1. Were out hit 8-1. And the only real highlight of this game was Logan Gilbert striking out 10, but that's about it. Wow. And the winning pitcher of the Tigers, it was, what's his name? Casey Mize. He had 6 strikeouts. I could have used that for fantasy baseball, but someone in our league happened to take him. He took him on Sunday, so he's already picked up my strategy. And you know what? I'll just say it to you guys. Your best fantasy baseball strategy right now is pick up any starter against the Mariners. I'm just going to say it because McLovin or Greg's great team has already figured it out. Now, let's get into this game. Very painful to watch. 1 hit, 1 run, Tigers with 4 runs and 8 hits. And going into the final game is going to be Tariq Skubal. And Jay Trident, I know you didn't watch the game much, or this was pretty much it. But how are you feeling right now after the first 6 games?
I think I was the lucky one not to watch this one today, so I feel bad for you guys. Listen, in just a microcosm of 6 games, it does happen. Teams are going to go 2-4 over stretches. So you shouldn't think that this is the end of the world. The problem is this is a team that has come up short the last 2 seasons, 1 game short. So we know how important 1 game is. It's been the difference between this team in the playoffs and not. They had a terrible offseason, didn't do anything to improve the team. Then the first homestand of the year, they're laying an egg. It just is exactly what this team didn't need. I don't mean if they would be 5-1 right now, they'd be guaranteed to be in the playoffs or anything like that. But it's just setting a bad precedent right out of the gate for this team. And like, Ian had said a few minutes ago, we were talking like, now you go to San Francisco is playing really well. And you could play okay and lose 2 out of 3 to that. Cause let's just assume they lose to Scooball tomorrow. Like just assume. So 2-5, then you're 3-7. Then it's, come home for Houston, who actually Mayor's done pretty well against Houston, surprisingly, but they could beat you. You're 4-9. And it's just, they're going to win a series eventually. We all know that, but it's not what this team needed to start season over. Of course not. But, and the other thing I would say is this team just looks exactly the same. It looks exactly the same. Pitching good, offense not. Bullpen okay, and it's the same song and dance we've seen the last 2 years, and I'm just tired of it.
Ian, your turn.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you just said. I would even say the reason why we got off to such a hot start last year is our pitchers were like giving up 1 run a game. I mean, Wu had that performance, but Castillo's consistently worse this year. Kirby's out. Gilbert, even today, was uncharacteristically like 4 runs isn't a bad game, but like for this offense, you have to think we can't give up more than 1 run to compete. And as he just said, it's the same team as last year, just no bats. And I really wish I could sit in the mind of Dipoto or any of the, I mean, we know what ownership thinks, but like somebody in that office and go, do they just watch the game? Or is it really just money at this point to anyone, even Dan Wilson and stuff? Like I saw a little improvement when Edgar came in and was the hitting coach last year. There was a little spark in the hitting, some stuff we didn't see all year. And then we have the Braves guy now, and obviously Edgar's over the organization, but I mean, it's almost like he's made them worse in this spring training. And again, it's early, 6 games, as you said. I'm not going to say it's all over from there, but I mean, this is abysmal. Getting 1 hit. I mean, you're looking like Billy Chappell from the movie of the Tigers out here. The gray jersey just reminded me of that. Like, what? You just throw a perfect game against you? Like, just it's starting to get frustrating. And as Triton said, if we can get another win soon tomorrow, that'd be great. Because if we don't, and we come out of San Francisco and we don't win in San Fran, and we get swept by Houston, that's a 2 and whatever start would be very bad. Like, it's not that you can't come out of it, but as we just 1 game can ruin an entire season because we've come up short the last 2 years. And preferably, I would rather not go into the All-Star break saying we have to come out hot, or we're going to have a September where we have to go 20-0 just to make the playoffs. That's just not what I want to see. But I think the biggest thing that I'd like to see tomorrow, because I think Castillo's going, he needs to show that he's even worth being on this starting 5 without being the number 5. Because, I mean, this is a unpopular take with most of my friends and other guys that talk baseball with me. They like Castillo. I don't. I think he's very underperforming the contract. I don't think he's living up to it. And ultimately, we could have kept Robbie Ray and got the same and maybe a little bit better out of him once he got healthy. So I don't see why. Like, they said he was our ace, and yet, I mean, he lost opening day starting position. He's given up home runs, even if it's two runs in the first start. Like, he didn't go deep in the game, and that's a big concern for me going forward with the pitching. But
I know that offense, big concern. I think we can all agree that offense is a concern. We knew it was a concern since we were saying it was a concern in 23 with Teoscar and Suarez and Julio actually hitting 30 bombs. And we said the offense was concerned then. And the pitching is, as of now, kind of meh. All the starters are not exactly up to it, except with the exception of Brian Wu after just 1 start. Logan Gilbert, yes, but the uncharacteristic game. Bullpen is still very shaky. But the other thing that's very concerning, and I don't know if it's getting enough attention, is the defense. Ryan Bliss isn't looking exactly great. Jorge Polanco, it's just unwatchable to watch him on third base. Like, it's painful. Like, I'm getting like Ryan Healy 2019 visions of Jorge Polanco at third base. And what about those throws by, I believe it was Victor Robles in the first inning? That was a terrible throw at home. Randy Arozarena, he has no idea. Now, I know that robbing a home run is difficult. I get it. But for someone of his athleticism, he should have at least tried to scale the wall instead of just taking that 1 hop and thinking he can catch that, because that's not exactly how you rob a home run. Unless you don't have the athletic ability, sure, then yeah, you just jump. But it didn't even seem that the effort was exactly there. And we've been seeing it too, where it looks like Julio could have legged it out, and he's not doing that. So it's a combination of bad offense, pitching is now shaky, and now we have defensive problems. And maybe this one's extreme, but what about some they could have beat it out kind of problems, especially with those little dribblers? But defense is concerning. Like some of those plays could have been done. And even JP Crawford, for someone that is to be a former Gold Glover, he doesn't have it. It doesn't look like it this season. And I think by next season, it's going to be very interesting what's going to happen with JP, depending on what Cole Young does, development of Emerson Hancock. What about the young Felnine Celestine? How fast can he develop, as he had a good spring too? But until then, as we're in game 6, if Mariners don't turn it around, I don't know. Because as much as I want to say, yeah, it's 6 games, A's, okay, fine, they're just getting started. But the Tigers, they just suck against the Tigers, which they usually do historically. But you still want to at least take, I would say you want to take 2 out of 3 of the Giants just to not lower any more confidence, because sure, there are teams that can recover off bad starts, but that's because they have talent and personnel. Like the Astros, they were able to recover off of a 10-game deficit because they had the players and the personnel to do it. The Mariners, they don't really have that personnel, unfortunately, especially when our entire defense cannot play on the infield. And now our outfield is now shaky. And do I have to look at the Mariners offense, their batting average? Now it's getting to the point that they're batting like less than 200. And I think last year we were complaining that, oh yeah, they're batting 200. It's terrible. And now I think we're going to try to say that batting 200 is good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
The
I'll take
defense
200.
The defense is a concern for me because we've normally been pretty solid defenders. But I mean, for me, it's not the fielding as much. The throws from the outfield, like if you can't throw it on the line to the catcher, you need to be cut. And I just don't understand why they're not cutting, because like it's not like they're off balance making like a Jeter-esque kind of throw home. I mean, they're not on a line. They're not even close. Like Cal's not even able to play on the ball, and that's a really big question as to why the fielding is not there. And I mean, as far as the other thing, we were talking about Suarez is hitting well. Teoscar's starting off hot. I mean, obviously we knew they weren't going to stay around forever because we won't pay. But I mean, if you had Teoscar and Suarez on this team, you at least have Victor Robles being able to DH. And I mean, that changes your entire team here. You may not need a guy like Solano on it because, I mean, honestly, he can't hit anything. Tellez may not be there because Luke Raley would then be able to be a full-time first baseman. Not that he's amazing there, but they're not going to pay anyone. Another guy that we could get, Anthony Rizzo, is a free agent. I don't know why we don't sign him. I mean, you could pay him $1 million, and I bet he'd play first base for you. And, I mean, there you got at least a decent fielder. Don't know if his hitting would be any better, but at this point, I'm over the Tellez, Solano, Raley platoon. I think they can cut 2 guys, spend $1 million, and at least get us somebody who can play every day. I mean, at this point, Ty France is a better first baseman.
Heck, the Mariners could have spent even just $800K on Kevon Biggio, and he's still batting better than what the Mariners got. And looking at tomorrow, oh, by the way, Dan Wilson's on. I kind of want to hear what he's saying. He's talking about Logan Gilbert settling into a good rhythm, which he did. Most of the game, he was pitching pretty well.
You know, as a manager, I think it is a tough spot because, like, you're not going to get up in arms at 2-4, like, you know that. But, you know, one of the things we saw last year with Scott, where I was getting kind of frustrated, was the 10-game lead was getting blown. And it was just kind of the same, like, oh, yeah, we're going to get back in it. It's baseball. And it is, like, you're going to lose games. Team's going to lose more games. But, like, eventually there's got to be that sense of urgency. We're going to find out here if they don't turn it, or I mean, again, 6 games in, but they don't start winning some series, you know, what's going to be Dan's like moment where he goes, okay, this is not acceptable anymore. You know, what are we going to see from Dan in those instances? Because we were even, you know, last year when Scott was let go, you know, I think we were all kind of like, okay, the season's kind of over a little bit, you know, let's see what Dan can do. So it was all kind of positive. But, so far this year, like, I think Dan's had some rough calls a little bit. Like, he seems to really like Trent Thornton a lot. And I get, like, Brash is injured, Taylor's injured. I know that makes it tough, but, like, I don't know. It seems like Thornton's his guy. Snyder's kind of been more in a mop-up role, and so we'll kind of see what Dan can do. But again, it's not his fault. At the end of the day, ownership, Jerry, Justin, if this team fails, I think are the ones that are ultimately responsible. But I don't know. Dan's not blowing me away so far through 6 games. It's 6 games.
I do question his pitching decisions, though. Like, opening day, he pulled Logan Gilbert a bit too early. Putting in Trent Thornton out of all people, like, it should have been, that job should have belonged to like a Colin Snyder or Gregory Santos. And even today, I was really baffled by his decisions too. Like, sure, it's typical you switch out a bullpen pitcher out of 1 inning, but Gabe Spire only pitched 8 innings and he was on fire. Gregory Santos, he pitched very well. They still pulled him out, but then you put in Trent Thornton, and then he gives up that home run, and the game's unfortunately pretty much over. Still hearing what Dan Wilson's got to say. Not really much.
Oh, I was gonna say, as far as Dan Wilson's concerned, I think if he doesn't spark a fire in this team or do something, I mean, maybe this is too rash to say. I really think we could be seeing him get dismissed middle of the year. I mean, if we don't see something turn around. I mean, he was brought in regardless of nostalgia, whatever. I thought he would have that Lou Piniella-esque like fire in him. Like, I was at the game on Saturday, and I told Rooftop this yesterday. There was a call on Solano at the end of the game. They called him out, said he was out of the base after the umpire had already called him safe originally. And Dan just walked over calmly, kind of took it and didn't even argue. And I think at that moment, even if we lose the game, I think you need to step up, back your players and say, why are you reversing a call that you called safe and you had no discussion with any other umpire except him, and then you overturn your call? I think that was just a bad look on him. And I mean, regardless of the bullpen, which he shouldn't, because again, he's another manager who was a catcher in the big leagues. He should know what it takes and what to do in the bullpen situations. He just needs to get on these guys. And I'm not saying, like Trident pointed out, that 10-game losing streak, I 100% agree. I was upset because Service came in. He didn't care about the urgency. He didn't care about anything. And he watched that league go away. And it seemed like to him it was a joke. It was funny. And it was like, it really wasn't. Like, we could have, I think we were in Detroit was the series when we lost the lead, and we could have won 2 of those games, I believe. Or it was like in that stretch, we were in Detroit, and it was like there was no motivation. We lost a 1-0 ball game there because we couldn't hit. And it was like, he didn't even try to do anything. And it was just, he kept the lineups the same and didn't really move it around. And something needs to be shaken up. And if it doesn't happen fast, I mean, who knows? But like, I would even move Julio down in the order to 8 or 9 and just see maybe that sparks him to get going. Some other guys, like, move Randy. Just who cares if it's not the greatest lineup? If people do their job, runs will come. It's just stuff. And I'd also like to see him play a little more small ball at this point, because we are relying and dying on the home run, and we're just not a power hitting team. We need to get some small ball going.
Yeah, like, you're right. Like, yesterday's game, for example, all those runs that were accumulated were done by home runs. And I can't even remember, like, and I've been covering like almost every single game in full. And I don't, other than the Rowdy Tellez sacrifice fly, I don't even remember like an actual, like, what's it say? An actual like base hit, RBI base hit. Like the first game, it was 2 home runs by Arozarena and Polanco. Friday
they
didn't even score.
Do a bunt in the first game, and they couldn't even lay it down.
Failed.
That was so upsetting. I got so mad at that because I'm like, if you're a guy that he's trusting you to bunt, you should be able to get the bunt down. There's no excuse for missing one. It's a fastball way up high and in. If the ball is in the plate, you should be able to get the bunt down. It's just not that hard.
Saturday, I wasn't even there for most of the game until the bottom of the 8th, so I didn't even get to see that. So technically, I haven't seen an RBI base hit out of all the games I've covered, because everything's been living and dying by the home run. Yeah, I know, right?
just funny. Like, it's just like, sorry, it's not, obviously that's not towards it. It's just like, of course, this team, man, it's just the same. And again, I do want to reiterate for anybody, like, I get 6 games. I'm not throwing in a towel by any means on a season because of a 2-4 start, but it's just like, how can you like blame fans for being frustrated? It just seems like the same stuff. And here's the thing too. It's like last night didn't bother me that much because it was like Emerson Hancock was terrible. He should be replaced by George Kirby when he's healthy. The offense was, it was very home run heavy, but like they scored 6 runs, usually enough to win. At least it was something where it's like, hey, like Hancock was just terrible. Other than that, it's the same stuff we've seen. Pitcher good, hitter bad. Like, it's the same script with this team. They'll win games. Like they're not going to, be the worst team in baseball, but are they good enough to compete and be a legit contender, or just going to kind of hang around? Or, I mean, does it spiral? Maybe it does. I mean, listen, spring training wins, losses do not matter, but this team was bad in spring. Please, anybody watching, I'm not saying that's why, but like, I don't know, like, who knows? Maybe it was a sign of something. We'll see.
I mean, when we were at the spring training game together, we saw a bunch of like, ooh, we were not exactly impressed. Now, we weren't saying that's that's how it's going to be for the season, but we were like, well, they better fix those fundamental problems or else, oh crap. And sorry, Ian, you had something to say.
No, I actually, I mean, maybe this isn't my own take. I think you guys are not off on something. Last spring, we weren't horrible. This spring, when I watched this, we were downright awful. And it's carried over into the season. And granted, spring training, I don't really take everything and believe all of it. But I don't know. Now I'm kind of concerned that there were the holes there. They still had chances to make moves. And Dan and whoever else said this is the club they want to roll with. And as much as Rooftop talks about it a lot, glorified the 95 team was, they had 3 generational talents on that team and a bunch of other players who could actually play ball. It wasn't that it was a bunch of guys like this where half of them shouldn't even be major leaguers or would be starting major leaguers on other rosters. Like there's like 4 of them who would, but most of the other guys and the entire infield, maybe JP on a bad team would not be starting on any other team. That's just the sad truth is where we're at. And I just, no. I don't like what I've seen. And yes, 6 games in, it's not the end of the world, but I would love to see us win tomorrow, but I just getting 1 hit is just awful. There's no excuse for not putting a ball in play or seeing the ball. And I think the other thing that I haven't even touched on, the swings that we're giving and the takes and the approach is awful. Like some of these swings are in the ball's in the dirt and we're swinging you get fooled sometimes, you get tied up. I played the game. I coached the game. I understand how that works, but it's not every at bat. And guys like Arozarena, Cal, Julio, this is consistent for them. JP, they're swinging at stuff that is awful. It's like they don't even have the awareness at the plate to lay off. And then the next at bat, they'll lay off or hit a home run and everyone's like, oh, they're back to normal. And then the next at bat, it's a strikeout. And it's like that up and down is just not helpful for this team. And hold on, Fritz said something earlier I didn't touch on. Dan can't make guys that aren't major leaguers hit. No, they're in the major leagues because they showed enough to be in the major leagues. Like they should be able to hit the ball. Like you can't just sit there and say they're not major leaguers, they can't hit the ball. If they're in the league, they can hit. That's all I got to say. I mean, they're not just going to sign a bunch of guys off the street and say, you can go hit a home run, you can go hit the ball. They have some talent. They're just not starter material. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, and I do agree with – oh, sorry, Rooftop. Go ahead.
No, go.
Okay. Like, I agree with Fritz's point. Like, yeah, like, I don't think, like, firing Dan is going to, like, cure everything. At some point, this is on. Again, if it ends up spiraling and getting worse, I never want to be doom and gloom in this team. Every time I do that, by the way, the team, like, wins 8 in a row. As soon as I'm like, done, can't do this anymore, it's like they'll beat Scooble tomorrow. It's like, oh, okay. But, it falls on ownership, Jerry, Justin, to me. Like, eventually – that's got it. We can funnel through managers. And even though Dan's not blowing me away so far or anything, like there does come a point where it's like, who are these guys, who like the inactivity in the offseason, even with a smaller budget, like there's moves to be made. I'm not a big, like Jake Berger guy, but he got picked up by Texas for not many prospects. I don't know how he's doing so far this year, but that's someone that Jerry could have probably gotten in here. And I get they tried on Carlos Santana, but they just haven't earned any benefit of the doubt. If they were 3-time defending AOS champs, we wouldn't even be talking right now. We'd just be like, yeah, it's baseball. Let's bounce back tomorrow and get this going. But they just have not earned it. They don't deserve to be like, oh, just be patient, everybody. It's fine. Like, fans are tired of hearing it. We're all tired of hearing it. And they haven't earned that goodwill, a little bit in 23, maybe after 22 making the playoffs. I think we're all like, okay, like we get it. These guys might know some things and they've done some good, but overall it's just, it's just hard not to see it as the same team. Because it is.
I mean, when we were watching the games, they'll show the camera angles of like the fans, and the turnout is not good. Even opening day wasn't good. All of Sunday, the entire right field upper deck was extremely empty. Like, I feel like if you snuck there, no one's even going to notice. And they probably didn't even have ushers there because what was the point? But that's just the message where, like you said, fans are fed up and they're trying to speak with their dollars. And there was that narrative going. It's like, it's okay. We'll still make money because we make it interesting. But maybe this season we're like, no, this is not okay. Like, even myself, I actually tried to convince my best friend, Greg's great team, that guy. I convinced him to like not take him to a Mariners game. Like, hey, let's just do an Everett game for your birthday. Let's just do Thunderbirds playoff game if they're still around. Let's just do anything of that. And he's like, no, it's got to be a Mariners game. And I go, fine. Even though I'm not exactly excited about the idea of still giving John Stanton my money. I already did this season with the $20 a month. But I only did that for this, just for literally this. But I'm also not interested in giving John Stanton my money directly because until they give us something that's actually watchable, there are fans out there that are just going to say, no, we've had enough. We'd rather watch something else. We'd rather do something else over the summer in Washington, beautiful weather. There's plenty of other things to do in this summer that is without Mariners baseball. And it pains me to say it, but Mariners did that to themselves with bad off season. They had a chance to get value out of Luis Castillo. Now, I still understand that is still a split issue. They had a chance to get anyone in free agency, which didn't happen. And now look where we are. They just went cheap. They went stand pat. They basically have the same team from last year minus Justin Turner. I mean, Justin Turner called out the freaking team for the lack of moves. It's unfortunate.
You just touched on something. The Red Sox, I don't know if you guys heard about this. We're going to trade us Casas, first baseman, and Yoshida for Luis Castillo, and ownership didn't want to take on either of their contracts, and that was a legit deal they offered. And we could have had another good outfielder, a solid first baseman, and we would have lost a single pitcher, which ultimately we could have signed someone by with 4 starters if Kirby wasn't hurt instead of 5. I mean, it would have been a shorter rotation and have a bullpen day every 5 games, but I mean, that would have at least improved so we wouldn't have a Solano or Rowdy. So then maybe you go out there and you pick up a pitcher that's, older but available, or maybe you do go out there and make a move for someone else. But it's just, I think we all don't want to keep going on ownership, but unless something in ownership, Lincoln or somebody gets canned and they shift the narrative, I think that we're stuck watching what the ownership thinks is funny because they don't care. They're rich. They don't have to spend money. They make money on this. And as long as there's a single person in the ballpark, he's getting his pockets packed. I mean, the sooner we stop going to games or people actually start demanding more out of the team, that's what you're going to get.
The only opposition I have with this whole mass boycott, and it pains me to say it, we know the cycle where we know John Stanton. He could just play the victim and say, I need a new stadium because I'm not making any money because I guess the stadium's too ugly for fans. And then he could just say, okay, I'll just go somewhere else. I'm not saying that relocation's a thing. I'm just saying that it's kind of tough to say that boycotting is going to work. especially
I would
when
actually hope he would. I hope he would do. You just said that you think he would do, because the MLB, when they did the All-Star game, said it was one of the best All-Star game experiences they ever had because of having both stadiums together. They could store stuff over in Lumen and then bring it over to Safeco, and it really, like, the MLB and the head of the commissioner and everyone was like thrilled with that. So if John Stanton then turned around a year, 2 years later and says, my stadium's not good because you don't get the fans, I feel like the commissioner and the MLB and other teams, ownership would probably say, no, it's because of the pressure you're given on the field. Unlike Oakland, which, if you've ever been to the Coliseum, it's a dump now. It is good like it was back when they won their series and everything else. My dad grew up in the Bay. He used to go to games there in Candlestick, and I went when I was a kid, and I went last year for the final time, and it's gotten so bad that it was just, it's a trial there. It's not as safe. So the A's actually had a legitimate excuse for getting out, but Stanton really couldn't do the same thing with Safeco. I think it would be a worse look, and I think they'd also have a point. I mean, we made the playoffs in 22, and then consistently we've missed it by a game, but we haven't put another roster together like we had in 22, where you had a couple guys who were like not bad names on that roster, and we haven't even come close to replacing them. Randy was basically given away by the Rays. They didn't want him because he couldn't hit, and Robles is older and no one really wanted a chance on him, and that's it. We have not signed anyone else to this team besides Polanco, who, again, another failed experiment. I think Frazier did okay for what we had him in 22, but it wasn't amazing. It wasn't great. It wasn't Cano numbers that I think ownership thought when Cano first came, where he put up numbers that they kind of wanted, like on base and stuff. But again, I don't know. And I don't remember if you posted it, Rooftop, or maybe it was Trident talked about it when this they said, oh, we're not going to make another big deal like Cano because we don't want to get screwed again. That was Jack Serenzic's thing. He never signed anyone, and then finally get Cano, somebody who wants to come here, and he signed him to a stupid contract. You can't blame him for screwing you. That was just a stupid GM that no one liked. So it's just interesting.
Yeah, and I think my closing statement is, because we are pretty much out of time, is I did check the lease. They have a lease till 2043, so at least there's time on that. So I guess we don't have to think about that kind of stuff.
If we don't have a World Series by then, there's a problem.
It's gonna be a problem. And I guess another thing I want to say too is, because the Mariners have missed the playoffs by one game, and I know it's only 6 games, but at the same time, I still don't want to hear the whole "it's one game" rhetoric ever again. I just don't want to hear it.
All count.
All it counts. But usually in April, I'm kind of lax-ish. But once it gets to May, it's like, nope, everything freaking counts. Everything counts once you get to May. So,
I was gonna say, last thing I'll say, just kind of on that, like, and I'm with you. Like, they all count as one. So get them now, because then, hey, like, even the 10-game lead last year, like, obviously they blew it, but the hope is like, hey, one of the things we were positive about was, if Houston does catch up to you a little bit, you should still have like a 5-6 game lead, so you have a little leeway later in the year. Now they ended up just completely tanking, and Houston took off. It didn't work out. But to your point, like, and listen, if they can hang around 500 for a month, that's okay. Like, then you're a hot streak away. But if they start spiraling out, then you get that hot streak, and all it does is bring you back to 500. And it's like, okay, now you need another hot streak. So if they're, even if they're like 20-20, which isn't great, hey, they're a 9 out of 12 away from maybe being in first place. But if they start dropping, 2-5, like I've said it 15 times now, but like, 6-12, stuff like that, then you have that streak. Okay, now you're back to 500. So you just can't bury yourself. It's okay, you're going to lose some, but to your point, like they all count. Like, and this, again, I think part of it too for you, Rooftop, like you said, like normally April, you're not like up in arms. It's just, there's no goodwill. If they won the division last year, you'd probably be okay right now, but they didn't. So it's frustrating. It's just frustrating. They're not coming off a World Series title. We're not Dodger fans, so we don't have a lot of optimism inside of us at the moment. We try, but it's tough.
It is tough. Well, that's it. I mean, I would talk about Tariq's Screwball for tomorrow, but I think we already have the idea of what it's going to be. But Ian, thank you for being on the show, and yeah, I'm glad. Hope you get your microphone thing situated. And J Tried Podcast, thanks for coming in for at least the last inning and the post game show to say what we needed to say and vent. And everyone in the chat box, thank you very much for venting everything else you can. I appreciate it. I love this engagement going boom, 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 boom. The more we do that, let's just say it will be more inspiring for me to get to that 100 game goal. I think I'm at 95 to go, so that's the magic number. And everyone, have a good night. And it pains me to say this. Go Mariners.